Now, Jethro, tell us exactly what happened with Miss Drysdale.
Well, I come around the side of the house, and I see this here lady fighting with a furry-looking varmint.
Turned out it was Miss Drysdale.
No, Uncle Jed, it was a fox.
Lady was Miss Drysdale.
Oh, yeah. So I grabs up the shotgun, and I says, step aside, lady, and I'll shoot it. Well, instead of that, she whipped around and throwed that thing in the air. Well, I shot it on the fly with both barrels.
Blew my wife's fox fur to shreds.
I wonder if you fainted dead away.
I caught her just in time. The chauffeur had to help me get her into the car. She was out like a light.
She was stewed to the gills. You said it took 2 men to get her back in the car.
You know, Jethro, could be that there fox was Miss Drysdale's pet.
Why in tarnation would she want a sneaky old fox for a pet?
'Cause them kind of people are liable to do anything.
What kind of people?
Ask your pa.
Well, I reckon I can't protect you from the ugly side of life forever. You see, Miss Drysdale is what city folks calls what was her husband called it, Granny?
Hypochondriac.
Yeah, that means she drinks a little.
Well, let's be thankful for one thing, Mr. Drysdale.
What's that?
The tree outside the window. It completely obscures her view of the Clampett estate.
Yes. And if that tree should ever lose its leaves and she gets one look at those hillbillies...
It shall not happen. The Clampetts have agreed to accompany me to Palm Springs.
Fine, fine. Now, you keep them there until I get Margaret back to Boston.
Can do and will do.
Maybe it's for the best that you know about that poor woman next door, Ellie. Now you can pitch in and help us get her cured.
Yep. I'll need you to help find the makings from a sobering up mash. That's what I'll give her first.
But Miss Jane said she was taking us to Palm Springs.
Folks don't run off and leave the neighbors when he's in trouble. What all you gonna need for your sobering up mash, Granny?
Well, most of the stuff I got. But it takes pecan root, wretchweed, sourdough, skunk oil, chimney soot, spider webs, horsebeard, snake wort, pepper leaves, chicken gizzards, stump water, coal oil, slippery elm ooze, and turpentine, and a few more things that's secret. Oh, and the biggest toad you can find.
Granny, you use a live toad?
That's just for testing. I give it a swaller to see how far it jumps.
Last time Granny used a sobering up mash, set a new record. Clean over the top of Elverny Bradshaw's clothesline.
That's tall jumping for a toad.
Oh, this wasn't no toad. This was Elverny's husband, Homer. It was him Granny was sobering up. Welly, if you're going out in the brush hunting stuff for Granny, you'd best put on some old clothes.
Okay, Pop.
Well, let's get it going. Oh, I pert near forgot. I have to have some goat's milk. After Mrs. Drysdale takes my sobering up mash, she has to have fresh goat's milk every half hour to stop the burning.
Well, I reckon Jethro can borrow some. Well-to-do neighborhood like this, folks is bound to keep goats.
Everybody except us. We ain't even got a cow.
Nor pigs neither.
Nor chickens.
We ain't even got nothing to pull a plow.
You're supposed to be so dad-blame rich. I'll bet we're the only family in Beverly Hills that ain't got a mule.
I reckon it is high time I was stocking this place. Even Mr. Drysdale's been after me to buy some cattle.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, just the other day he says to me, Mr. Clampett, you got $25 million in cash. You ought to put some of that money into stock.
Well, we better get busy now if we're gonna find...
There goes that music again. Jethro, did you ever find out where that's coming from?
No, sir, I didn't. Every time I went to looking for it, somebody always come to the door. This time I'm gonna find it for sure.
Yeah, good hunting. Me and Granny will be figuring out what stock to buy. Doggone
one that never failed. Howdy, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, please stop calling me Miss Hathaway. Now, if I can call you by your first name, Jethro, surely you can do the same for me.
But,
Please?
well, howdy, Miss Jethro.
How about calling me Jane?
I like that better.
Well, are we all set to leave for Palm Springs?
No, ma'am. Uncle Jed and me's going to town and buy some stock.
Stock?
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Drysdale, he told Uncle Jed he had ought to put some of his money into stock.
He dictated a memo on that. But you needn't waste time driving into town. You can order your stock by telephone. Now, here are Mr. Drysdale's recommendations. He doesn't want your Uncle Jed to get a bum steer.
Oh, Uncle Jed, he wouldn't buy no bum steer.
They should be cautious in the bull market.
You gotta be careful with cows, too.
I don't need this list nohow. Me and Granny's already figured out what we want.
That's right. A pair of goats, 3 pigs, 4 cows, a bull, a mule, and a dozen chickens.
Reckon we get all that on the truck?
Don't have to. Miss Hathaway says just call on the telephone and they bring them out.
Oh, now, ain't that nice? Hello?
Jed, I watched that banker feller. You have to stick your finger in them holes and spin her a while.
All right. Reckon that ought to do it.
Operator.
Oh, howdy, ma'am. This here is Jed Clampett. I'd like to buy some stock.
What number do you wish?
Number? Oh, a couple of goats, 3 pigs, 4 cows, a bull, a mule, and a dozen chickens.
I'll give you information.
Well, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate all the information you can give me. It's the first time I ever bought stock on the telephone.
Perhaps I'd better connect you with the supervisor.
2 heads is better than 1.
Supervisor speaking. May I help you?
Well, thank you, ma'am. This here is Jed Clampett. I'd like to buy some stock.
Do you know the number you wish to reach?
Well, that's more or less up to the animals. But the number I want to start with is a couple of goats, 3 pigs, 4 cows, a bull, a mule, and a dozen chickens. This sure is a dandy pin, Jethro.
As soon as Ellie gets back from the Drysdale, she can milk this here goat.
Mr. Drysdale sure has got a nice house, ain't he, Granny?
Yep. Nice house, nice car, nice job. But the evil of drink has sure laid a heavy hand on his heart. Never forget, Ellie, drinking is a curse.
But you take a drink now and then, Granny.
Never more than a thimbleful. Oh, Ellie, you might have to hold Mrs. Drysdale while I spoon my sobering up mash down her.
I'll throw a double scissors and an arm lock on her.
Just so you don't cut off her wind if she can't breathe. Howdy. We've come to see Miss Drysdale.
I'm sorry, madam, but Mrs. Drysdale cannot be disturbed.
Are you her kin?
I'm a butler.
Oh, that must have been her maiden name. You were taking care of her, are you?
I am a butler, madam.
Well, I'm glad to see that her family ain't ashamed to help her.
Whom shall I say called?
Well, this here's Granny, and I'm Ellie Mae. Pa and Jethro would have come too, but they're busy with the cattle.
Very good.
Hold on now. We've come to see Miss Drysdale.
Mrs. Drysdale is indisposed, madam. She is not receiving.
Oh, still sleeping it off, huh? Well, when she comes to, you just spoon half of this down her and then stand back.
Yeah, she'll commence to doing some tall jumping.
Don't bite you. We'll be back later with the goat's milk.
Want me to stay and help you do for Miss Drysdale?
We are managing, thank you.
Are you doing the washing and the cleaning and the cooking for her?
Certainly not.
Oh, just letting it pile up on her, huh?
I am a butler.
Oh,
Want me to haul him out of there and wrestle him down?
kin folks have certain rights. Family comes first.
He sure is proud of that family name, ain't he?
Yeah. You hear him talk, the butlers don't get wet when it rains.
Did you say something, dear? Well, speak up, dear. Can I get you something? Come in.
I beg your pardon, sir. The butler said some people from a ranch brought this for Madame.
From a ranch?
Well, he said they mentioned cattle. They called themselves Granny and Ellie Mae.
The Clampetts, they haven't gone to Palm Springs.
Get him in through that gate. That's the way.
Suey! Pig! Ah!
Get in there.
Get in there, pig! Get in, pig! Come on! Pig!
That's the way.
Suey!
No, surely not. Marie, tell me I'm hearing things.
You're hearing things, sir. Cows, chickens, pigs, goats.
No.
Anything I can do, sir?
Pray, Marie. Pray.
Yes, sir, Mr. Drysdale. I finally took your advice and put some of my money in stock. How's that goat milk, Ellie?
Just fine, Pa.
You sure is a dandy pen, Mr. Drysdale.
Yeah, good stout fence around outside. Of course, that one across the middle ain't so much. Bulls already jumped it twice, and it ain't even mating season. Got ourselves some mighty fine-looking stock. Of course, they need a little fattening up.
Mr. Drysdale happy to see him?
Granny, he was so happy he couldn't talk. He just kind of hung on a fence and made little gurgling noises in his throat.
Well, that poor man has some joy coming to him.
I'm glad to be able to help him to forget his trouble for a spell.
Here's the goat's milk, Granny.
Oh, good, Ellie. Now, you run that right over to Mr. Drysdale. That sobering up mash smarts considerable unless you follow it up with fresh goat's milk.
Ellie, Mr. Drysdale ever find his tongue?
Yeah, Pa. Whilst I was milking the goat, I heard him kind of mumbling like he was giving thanks. He says, "Oh, what have I done to deserve this?"
Lord love him. Ain't that pitiful? Oh, hurry, child, now hurry.
You know, Granny, it gives a person a mighty good feeling to help a neighbor.
You betcha. And he needs us, because his wife's kin ain't no help.
Who's that?
That high and mighty Mr. Butler, that's who came to the door when Ellie and me took the mash over. Wouldn't let us see Miss Drysdale.
Well, now, you can't hardly blame him for not wanting folks to see it.
Uncle Jed, the bull jumped that little fence again, so I tied him back over on his side.
Where's Mr. Drysdale? I asked him to come in for some coffee.
It was the funniest thing what happened to him. You know how he was hanging on the fence of the stock pen, kind of gurgling and mumbling happy-like?
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, he points up towards his house and says, "My wife, that's her window." Then he goes tearing off into the bushes like a bear was after him.
She took some mash and he seen her jumping.
Like Ellie, he's gonna get there with the goat's milk just in time.
Oh, Sonny, Sonny, your mumsy just had the most ghastly dream. I was going to see our new neighbors, the Clampetts, and suddenly this dreadful giant appeared with a huge gun and shot my beautiful fox fur. Isn't that the most dreadful... Claude, what are you eating? Oh, did Ravenswood bring my darling boy some nice scraps? Claude. Claude! Marie, come and get Claude.
What's the matter, dear?
Claude, he's having a seizure or something.
Is something wrong?
Yes, Marie. Open the window.
Yes, let's have some fresh air. No. You take Claude to the doctor. I'll get the window. Well, darling, how do you feel?
Dreadful. My nerves are shattered. Open the window, dear.
Well, it might not be good for you, Margaret.
Oh, don't be silly, Milburn. I need oxygen. Besides, I adore the fragrance of that jasmine that grows on the fence of that tennis court next door. Now, open the window.
All right, dear, but first I have a surprise.
Surprise?
Don't move. I'll be right back.
Granny, that there butler fellow wouldn't let me through that door again. And he wouldn't take this milk, neither.
Why not?
He said he wouldn't touch nothing more from us without it was sterilized.
What's sterilized?
Oh, we had that in school once. That means soaked in alcohol.
Alcohol?
Appears to me like Mr. Drysdale's got 2 drinkers on his hand.
Mrs. Drysdale must be in terrible shape. Fighting me, scratching and clawing people and everything.
How do you know?
I heard her yelling and screaming clean from upstairs. She says, Marie, Marie, come and get Claude. Sure enough, pretty soon, this poor girl come a-running down yelling. Take me to the doctor. I got Claude.
Family or no family, that woman needs help, and by thunder, she's gonna get it.
Surprise! Surprise!
Milburn, have you taken leave of your senses? You know I'm much too nervous to watch television.
But, darling, the doctors in Boston said your nerves were just fine.
Those Boston doctors. They had the audacity to tell me that I was perfectly healthy. I said, I'm not paying you all that money to tell me I'm healthy. Milburn, I do not want to watch television.
Well, you don't have to watch it, dear. Just listen. There's an exciting Western on.
Weston, Milburn, shut that off and open the window.
I will. Oh, there we are.
Milburn, are you going to open the window or am I?
I am, dear. There, you see, the cattlemen and the sheepmen are fighting it out.
Well, if you won't turn it off, I will.
Oh, dear, I do admit that's a very old clock, but I'm sure we can get something better.
That's the window he pointed to right there.
I've got to get some fresh goat's milk up to that woman some way.
I could shinny up the tree and climb right in that window.
Oh, Jethro, it ain't fitting for a man to be in a woman's bedroom.
How about me? No, Ellie. You're too young to handle somebody wrestling in the grip of old John Barleycorn. I gotta get up there and have a goat handy to milk ever so often.
I think I got it figured out, Granny. I'll get a rope, throw it over that limb, hoist you up to the window. Jethro, you get that Mr. Butler away from the front door. Then, Ellie, you take the nanny goat, lead it upstairs to her room for Granny.
All right, Paul. But that little goat ain't gonna do nothing unless it's got that little chicken sitting on his back.
That's all right. Raw egg ain't gonna do Mrs. Drysdale a bit of harm.
Margaret, what are you doing?
Packing. I'm leaving immediately.
Oh, don't leave me. I love you.
I love you too, Milburn. Why don't you come to Boston with me? You haven't seen Sonny for a long time.
I don't understand. Why have you suddenly decided to go back to Boston?
To see those doctors. Let them dare to tell me now I don't have a nervous condition. I'm even having hallucinations. It's wonderful.
Hallucinations?
I just saw a witch fly by that window, and there's a goat in the bathtub with a chicken riding on its back. Oh, you couldn't see them, dear. Only someone with my shattered nervous system. There goes the witch again. Oh, Milburn, I'm the happiest woman in the world. It's marvelous. Wait until those doctors hear this.
Can't get in the attic and she won't open the window. Heist me up again.
Here, Milburn. Let's have a vitamin toast to my coming triumph.
too late, Jed.
What do you mean, Granny?
We didn't get to her in time. Now she's got her husband on the stuff.
Yeah, Ellie? Ellie Mae Clampett. Why, you're the prettiest thing I ain't never in all my born days. How'd an old mountain goat like me ever get a young'un like you? You're a queen. That's what you are in that shiny dress standing there. You're a queen.
Feel it, Paul. It's slicker than a toad's belly.
I'll give you if it ain't. What kind of dress they call that?
This is what you call a ball gown.
A ball gown. Well, you's even catching on to what this name.
Well, Miss Hathaway, she pinned a piece of paper onto every dress she got me, telling what it was for.
You better tote along the shotgun and keep fellas away.
Oh, no, Paul. That's what I'm going out for, to meet some fellas.
Hallelujah. You know, you're going to find out something I've been saying is the truth. You don't have to dress up in boys' clothes to have fun with boys.
I'm going to keep my promise, Paul. I ain't going to wear nothing but dresses for 3 whole days.
And I'm going to keep my promise, too. If you don't have just as much fun as you did climbing trees and wrestling, you can go back to wearing your pants and shirt.
Goodbye, Pop.
What you doing? Killing ants?
Hey, this place ain't got no ants.
I'll tell you something else it ain't got. That's me. I'm gonna pack up and go home.
Wait a minute. Hold on there. This is home.
Not to me it ain't. And for my part, they can give Beverly Hills back to the Indians. Or whoever else was fool enough to come here in the first place.
Come on, let's go in here and sit down and we'll talk this whole thing over. You just got your back up because the police made us get rid of all our cows and pigs and chickens and stuff.
Well, that didn't help none. But if they don't allow folks to have stock, why have they got that all-fired fancy stock pen down there?
Well, Granny, it turned out that there was something called a tennis court.
What in tarnation is a tennis?
I don't know, but one of these days we'll get us a pair of them and go to raise them out there.
Well, you go to raising them. I'm going back home, where I can get some good things in life, like hog jowls and possum shank.
Now, hold on, Granny. Jethro's out hunting possums right now.
He won't find none. I've been all over these Beverly Hills, and I tell you, it ain't easy. Climbing fences and walls and jumping over hedges to get around those cement ponds where there are a lot of half-naked women laying there smearing themselves with oil and yelling at you to get out, get out. I tell you, Jed, this place is full of the laziest, greasiest, unfriendliest mess of people I ever did lay my eyes on.
Here's Jethro. Hi, boy. What'd you get? I got chased by a fellow with a club.
Now, you hear that, Jed? It says Beverly Hillbillies picking on a little boy like Jed. Come on, Jethro, load up the truck and let's head for home.
Hold on. I think I know what's ailing you two. You're just plain old homesick.
Well, I'm sick of this home, I can tell you that.
Yeah, now I got a surprise. I've been kind of saving. I reckon now's good times any to let the cat out of the bag.
We need pigs and chickens, and he gets us a cat.
Now, that ain't the surprise, Granny. The surprise is Pearl's coming out here.
Ma's coming out here?
Yeah, and she's bringing your sister Jethrine.
Hot diggity dog.
Yeah, I wrote her a letter. I said, Pearl, I says, why don't you come out here and bring Jethrine? We got lots of room and plenty to eat, and we sure is a hanker to see you.
Oh, boy. I gotta get us some possum now, because if there's one thing Ma and Jethrine likes, it's grits and possum shanks.
You don't look particular cheered up, Granny.
Jed, you might fool that boy with a story like that, but not me.
What do you mean?
Since when can you write letters?
Hold on, Granny. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Granny, I didn't write that letter by hand.
Held the pencil twist your toes, did you?
No, I wrote it by a new way. The banker's secretary showed me. It's called dictation.
What's dictation?
Oh, it's wonderful, Granny. You just talk, and she writes it down.
She sure must write fast.
Yeah, with a bad hand, too.
She got a bad hand?
This one, she calls it her shorthand.
I don't don't care how many letters you dictate, Jed. Pearl ain't a-coming out here. Leastwise, not right now.
Well, sure she is, Granny. She's looking to find a husband for Jethreen.
I'll tell you who Pearl is looking to get a husband for. Pearl. And I think she's got her cap set for that oil man that bought your swamp.
Mr. Brewster? Why, he lives clean over to Tulsa.
Yeah, but pumping oil brings him over to your place. And I'll bet you pigs to polecats that when he shows up, Pearl ain't fur behind.
Of all people, fancy meeting you here. Small world, ain't it?
Yes, it certainly is.
Oh, this here's my daughter, Jethreen. This is Mr. Brewster, dear.
I'm pleased to meet you, young lady.
Hi.
May I give you a hand, Mrs. Bodine?
Oh, thank you. Stay in the buggy, dear.
Careful now.
There.
There we are. Well, I see you girls are on your way to a Halloween party.
What kind of party?
Halloween.
What's a Halloween?
You don't celebrate Halloween here in the hills?
Well, I never heard of it. What's it like?
Well, it's an occasion where everyone gets dressed up in their most beautiful clothes.
Oh, these old things, they're just something I threw together myself.
Well, they look like they came from Saks.
Well, they didn't. I made them with store-bought yard goods. Didn't I, Jethreen? Yes, sir.
What brings you girls here on this beautiful Indian summer day?
Following you. we was headed this way anyway. I promised to keep an eye on the old home place for Cousin Jed, remember?
Mm. Oh, I hope he won't mind that I had a telephone put in the cabin. You see, we're using it as a sort of a field office.
Oh, but he won't mind. Especially if you would show it to me and I could see for myself that there was no damage done to the cabin.
Well, that's quite all right. Come along, huh?
Stay in the buggy, dear.
Well, perhaps you'd like to stretch your leg.
They're long enough now. Jethreen's awful tall for age. She takes after her father. Her late father, that is. I'm a widow.
Yes, I believe you told me.
Oh, that's right. That's when you told me you was a widower.
Yes.
You, still are, I suppose.
A widower? No, yes.
Stay in the buggy, dear.
Look at that fruit there. Did you ever in your whole born days ever see anything as pretty as that fruit? Don't spoil neither.
Don't taste neither.
Oh, now.
Jethro ate a whole bunch of them grapes. 2 apples, a pear, and a whole handful of strawberries. And he said there wasn't one bit of juice in the whole kit and caboodle of them. He said it was dry as wax.
This is mighty dry and gummy. Maybe you ain't supposed to eat this fruit.
That's the trouble with this miserable place. You ain't supposed to do nothing. You ain't supposed to have cows or pigs or chickens. You ain't supposed to fire up the still and make a little moonshine whiskey. Answer me, what can you do in this Beverly Hills?
Well, you can do lots of things, Granny. Things you couldn't do back home.
Name one.
Well, you can call up your friends on the telephone.
No, you can't.
Why not?
'Cause we ain't got no friends, that's why not. There ain't been one neighbor come a-calling on us since we moved in here.
Oh, so that's what's ailing you. Nobody's been coming to call. Well, now you got to remember what Pearl said. This here is Beverly Hills where the movie stars live.
What's that got to do with it? What's that got to do with being friendly?
Nothing. I just thought it might sidetrack you.
Well, it didn't. Movie stars are people just like us, ain't they?
Yes, it's prettier. Wouldn't it be worth waiting for if one of these days they come a knock on the door and we go to answer it, we open up the door and standing there would be Mary Pickford.
Mary Pickford?
Yeah, with the golden curls hanging down her back and her pretty little rosebud mouth saying friendly things like, howdy there, I'm Mary Pickford. Oh, you'd say to that,
I'd say, who's Mary Pickford? That's right.
Granny, she's America's sweetheart. You know that movie house where Pearl plays piano on Saturday nights?
I heard of it.
Well, she says little old Mary is everybody's favorite.
Well, tell me this. If Mary Pickford moved in that little cabin down the creek from us back home, what would we do?
Oh, we'd have gone calling and brought her over a mess of pone and skinned possum.
Yeah. And has Mary Pickford brought us a mess of pone and skinned possum? No, she ain't.
You gotta remember, Granny, she probably spends 4 or 5 hours a day just fooling with and combing that beautiful curls hanging clear down
Uncle Jed!
Well, hello, Jethro. What'd you get this time?
I got arrested. Yeah. Policeman, he took my gun away. He said they don't allow hunting in Beverly Hills.
That does it. That does it.
Then he pointed to old Duke here. He said, that dog had his rabies shot? And I said, no, sir, that dog ain't had nothing shot. I'm careful with a gun. What'd he say? He said, oh, wise guy, huh? So he put Duke and me in his police car. But we jumped out and run. Oh, is Ma and Jeff Reen here yet?
No, and they ain't a-coming. Now, if you want to see your ma and your sis, you pack up that truck, and you and me will skedaddle back home where folks is friendly.
Now, Granny. Oh, God, if she ain't the muliest little woman. Granny, now, just a minute. Now, Granny, will you just let me say one thing?
Well, you be quick, because I got a long trip ahead of me.
Granny, I know it ain't been easy for you out here. New things is always vexing, especially at your age. But I'm bound and determined to keep this family together. And if you go back to the hills, we's all going with you. I'm asking you, please, to stay. Not for my sake, but for Ellie Mae. Granny, what this place has done for her is a plain miracle. Why, that wild Injun has become a grand lady. I wish you could have seen her go out that door looking like a queen in a picture book. I tell you, I just wanted to sit down and bawl, the way you done when I married her ma. Now, she's just... She's out there now. Now, just wait, Granny. Wait till you see. In here, Ellie Mae.
Huh? You sure was right. Oh, hi, Granny. You don't have to wear boys' clothes to have fun with boys.
Mae, you promised me you wouldn't wrestle.
I ain't been wrestling.
And what have you been doing in your ball gown?
Doing what I'm supposed to do, playing ball. Oh, I made 2 touchdowns and kicked 3 field goals.
This is the phone I was telling you about. It's called a field telephone. Now, with this, I can communicate directly with the men working at the drilling site.
Any young men down there?
Oh, yes.
Any unmarried young men?
I'm sure there are.
Any tall, unmarried young men?
Well, they're probably all sizes.
Yeah. Suppose it gets pretty lonesome working down there.
Well, it's very likely. This is rather an isolated area.
Any specially tall, specially lonesome, unmarried young ones?
I don't think I can call any by name, no.
Uh-huh. Well, I was just wondering.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could you tell me where the oil drillers are working today? Well, now. What have we here? Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. And pretty, too. Ooh-wee. I bet you're an armful of mama. I mean it, honey. I like big girls. You just do things to me. You carry me away.
All right.
Hey, what's going on here?
Granny! Oh, there you are. What are you doing?
I'm figuring. And I figure best when I'm fishing.
Ain't no fish in there.
I ain't fishing for fish. I'm fishing for figuring.
Hey, what kind of figuring you fishing for?
I'm fishing to figure how I can get home.
Granny, I've been doing some figuring, too. You know, I think I got it figured out how come the neighbors ain't come to visit us.
I'm listening.
Well, I got it figured. Out here in Beverly Hills, instead of them coming to see us, we go to see them.
How come?
Oh, I don't know how come. That's just the way I got it figured.
Mighty convenient figuring.
Granny, it wouldn't do no harm and to give it a try. A lot of things is different out here.
Well, I'll fish on it for a spell.
Well, let's see now. Which neighbor shall we call on first? Mr. Drysdale's off in Boston with his missus, so let's go this way.
If you ask me, let's go back that way.
Now, Granny, you promise. Come on, everybody, let's go.
You reckon they'll give us a mess of pone or something, Pa?
Or maybe some salted down possum.
Probably so lie on us.
I'm not expecting anyone, Agnes.
Oh, it's probably just them children playing trick-or-treat, ma'am.
Howdy, ma'am. We's the Clampets.
You got something for us?
Yes, no.
Aren't you rather big for this?
Yes, ma'am, we are. In fact, I don't see how anybody gets through that little door.
Just a minute. Come in. Come in and set a spell, as you folks say up in the hill.
Well, thank you. We got a lot of calls to make. This here is Granny.
Howdy.
Hello?
I'm my daughter, Ellie.
Oh.
My nephew, Jethro.
Oh.
And I'm Jed.
Hello, Jed. I'm Agnes. Just call me Aggie.
Mighty nice place you got here, Aggie.
Oh, shucks, 'tain't nothing but a heap of bricks, but we call it home.
Well, sure is nice to meet up with you.
Oh, well, now, wait just a minute. I got something for you. Wait a second. Here you go, Granny, and Ellie, that's you, and Jethro, you and Jed. There.
Yeah, thank you. That's mighty neighborly of you. And you must come and see us sometime.
Yeah, we'll go hunting together.
Hey, Aggie, you like to play football?
Love it.
Well, there's a whole bunch of fellas that plays in the pasture down the way a piece. And they'd like it just fine if I could bring some more girls along.
Now, don't forget.
Please, can we go out now?
Not yet, children. Not till it gets dark.
Ain't that the most pitiful thing?
Heart-rendering. Just heart-rendering.
Nice-looking woman. Friendly as you please. But them young'uns is the homeliest I ever see.
Wonder she didn't want to come a-calling on us.
Yeah. Reckon I'd stay home, too, if my kids looked like that.
Kid, I ain't never gonna say a bad word about nobody.
I know what you mean. Diggies, every house we went to, they was nice to us, wasn't they?
Sure was, Jed.
Hey, listen, everybody. I got an idea. Let's call up Cousin Pearl and tell her to come on out here.
Uncle Jed, you can't call Ma on the telephone.
Drysdale said we could call anybody we had a mind to.
Well, Ma, she ain't got no telephone at home.
Don't matter. She ain't never home nohow.
The way I look at it, you can't never tell what you can do until you try.
Don't forget to spin the wheel.
Howdy, ma'am. I want to talk to Pearl Bodine back in Oxford.
That's right, operator. J.D. Clampett in Beverly Hills.
Jed's sure gonna be surprised to hear me talking at him on this thing.
Oh, they're ready to make the connection.
Hello? Jed! That you, Jed?
You betcha it is.
Hello, Pearl, you old rascal. What you doing down there?
Pa, there ain't
Jethro talk in a minute, but first I want to say something. You gotta come out here to Beverly Hills and bring Jethrine. If she can't get a husband out here, there ain't no hope. You ain't never seen so many homely young'uns in all your born days. Can she bake a cherry pie, Billy boy, Billy boy? Can she bake a cherry pie, Chiming Billy? She can bake a cherry pie, quick as a cat can wink her eye. She's a young thing and cannot leave her mother. Well, Granny, did you pick out your spot yet for the garden?
Yep. I kind of favor a patch right close here to the house.
Oh, I'll plow you up something there directly.
Yeah, just enough for some onions and taters and some rudibakers. And a few rows of corn.
Paul? Morning, Granny. Paul, can I help you with the plowing and the spading?
Well, Ellie, I'd rather you put on one of them pretty dresses that Miss Hathaway got you.
But, Paul, I can plow better in these clothes.
Plowing. You know, Ellie, I'd like you to wear one of them dresses kind of regular. Wouldn't you, Granny?
You're mighty fetching in a dress, Ellie.
Prettier than a tub of fresh churned butter.
Paul, if I go to wearing them dresses, Jethro will make fun of me.
I reckon he hadn't better. Now, you run along and put on something with skirts.
All right, but he hadn't better make fun.
He won't, he won't. You know, speaking of Jethro, I think he's got himself a sweetheart.
The banker's secretary?
That's right. They was out together last night.
What'd they do?
Well, I don't rightly know for sure, but it was something to do with bowls.
All you do with bowls is eat.
Well, I reckon that's what it was then. She said she was going to take him bowling.
You know, Jed, I kind of like that Miss Hathaway.
Yeah, I think she kind of likes us, too.
Cousin Ellie, you're a city girl now. Do you think...
You see there, Paul? I told you this would happen if I took to wearing these dresses. You call me that again, and I'll turn you every way but loose.
Say nothing but city gal.
Ellie, me, climb it! You get up from there, or you're going across my knee.
And Jethro, you're going across mine.
What did I do that was so all-fired bad? In that dress, she looks just like a city gal.
You did it!
I reckon we better go out there and see she don't hurt him. Jethro, now that we living in a city, you got to learn to use the steps.
You'll be happy to know that I'm making splendid progress with Ellie Mae. She's turning into quite a lady.
Fine. But it's Jed, Granny, and Jethro we've got to work on. Clothes, manners, the works. What have you done about servants?
That's a problem, Chief. They're basically opposed to the whole idea of able-bodied people letting others do their work for them.
Well, that's a refreshing attitude. But we've got to get a skeleton staff in there somehow. A combination butler and valet for Jed and Jethro. Who help them assemble a wardrobe, teach them how to... Ravenswood.
Your butler?
Oh, he's never been my butler. Came with my wife like an overweight dowry. Been in her family for years. And with Margaret in Boston, I can certainly spare him, plus her upstairs girl, Marie.
I doubt if you can sell Mr. Clampett on the idea of servants.
Get him on the phone. I'll make him think he's doing me a favor by taking him off my hands for a while.
Right, Chief?
She had not have thrown me down on my head like that. What if I'd have been carrying a frog in my hat?
You ain't supposed to be wearing your hat in the house.
Well, Granny, where's a fella going to carry a frog? They jump out of your pockets.
Hello? Oh, howdy there, Mr. Drysdale. Glad to have you back from Boston. Your missus come with you? Oh, that's too bad.
Well, the reason I called Mr. Clampett is I have a butler. Well, he really belongs to my wife's family, but he's been with us ever since we were married. And I was wondering if you'd let him come and stay with you for a while.
You mean board with us?
Well, I guess you could call it that.
Who's going to board with us?
Just a minute. Some kin of Miss Drysdale named Butler. Why we be just...
That's that no good fat rascal that wouldn't let Ellie and me in to help Miss Drysdale when she was sobering up.
Hello? Granny was talking at me, but she's done now.
Oh, no, she ain't.
Just a minute. Granny, let me hear the men out, and then we can talk it over. Yes, sir, Mr. Drysdale. I'm a-listening now.
Well, in addition to Ravenswood, he's the butler, you can also have my wife's upstairs girl, Marie. Margaret may be away for some time, and I have absolutely no use for him.
Well, I sure would like to oblige. Me and Granny will talk it over, and I'll call you.
Oh, thank you. You'll be doing me a great favor.
I was glad to help out when I can.
Thank you again, Mr. Clampett, and goodbye.
Is somebody coming to live with us, Uncle Jed?
Maybe, Jethro, maybe. Why don't you go out and make up with your cousin Ellie?
Okay, Uncle Jed.
All right, Jed. Let's have it. We gonna board that butler fella?
Well, Mr. Drysdale will take it mighty kindly if we did. He says he ain't got no use for him.
I don't like him myself.
You only met him once?
Once was enough. I asked him real nice. I said, are you a-doing for Miss Drysdale that she's feeling poorly? Are you doing the washing and the scrubbing and the cleaning for her? And he looks right down his nose at me and says, Madam, I am a butler.
I reckon he is proud of his name. Kind of fancy. Ravenswood Butler.
I don't care if it's Stonewall Jackson. And I think Mr. Drysdale has a lot of gall to ask us to take his wife's kinfolks off his hands.
Well, now, I'm mighty beholden to him. You know he's keeping my $25 million in his bank, and he ain't charging me one penny to do it.
That's his business. You didn't ask him to do it.
Well, now, Granny, if it was just Mr. Butler, I might agree with you, but there's a sad side to the story, too.
What's that?
Well, you've heard of Mr. Drysdale speak of his stepson. That's his wife's boy by her first marriage.
The one they call Sonny?
Yeah. Well, it seems she's got a girl, too. And there must be something wrong with her.
What?
Well, I don't know, but they keep her upstairs.
No.
Yeah. He spoke of her as my wife's upstairs girl.
The poor thing.
Her name's Marie, and he'd like us to take her and Mr. Butler.
Doggone it, Jed. We got enough to do to take care of this big place without... He didn't say what was ailing her, huh?
Well, no, but if you ask me, they ain't eating right over there.
No.
You know what Mr. Drysdale told me?
What?
His wife ain't never cooked grits and hog jowl.
Ah, go on.
That's a fact. Nor mustard greens and possum belly. Nor pone and squirrel shank. Nor even boiled chicken hawk.
The land of mercy.
You can't hardly blame Mr. Butler for getting a mite cranky. Man don't eat right, he gets that way.
Well, yeah. I reckon it won't do no harm to take him in for a spell.
Granny, for such a little woman, you got an awful big heart.
Well, I feel sorry for the poor girl. But the first time that fancy pants Mr. Butler looks down his nose at me, I'm gonna chuck him in the cement pond.
Now, I'm doubling your salaries for the length of time you stay at the Clampett home. But if one word of this gets back to my wife in Boston, you're both out of work with no references.
Actually, you will find the Clampetts to be basically fine people. All they need is a little polish.
Polish. They need sandblasting. However, I think Miss Hathaway's plan may overcome their initial resentment of wearing city clothes.
Yes, I think I have devised rather a clever strategy. To put it briefly and succinctly, my strategy is as follows. I shall propose to the Clampetts that they sit for a family portrait. As you know, my hobby is painting. Now, I should suggest to the Clampetts that their attire match their background, which is, of course, their beautiful mansion. They will no doubt see the logic of my didactic approach, accede to my wishes, don suitable raiment, and, once they have seen themselves thus attired, take...
We're in. Let's go.
We forgot to dust the stair rail.
I'll do it, Granny.
Wearing boys' clothes does come in handy sometimes.
Hi, Ginger Granny. I think we got her all spick and span for the company.
They ain't a speck of dirt no place. Can I go swimming now?
Me too?
As soon as we help Granny clean up the kitchen. There goes that music again.
Sure is pretty. You ever find out where that comes from?
No, Granny. Every single time I commence to looking for it, somebody comes to the door.
Nobody to the door now?
There will be. You'll see.
Doggies, that's nice. I'll pitch in and see, can we find it?
You're wasting your time. I'm a-telling you. Before you can find it, somebody will come to the door. There, you see? Happens every time.
I remember, Ravenswood. I'm counting on you. Don't fail me.
You have my word, sir. I've been butler and valet since boyhood, as was my father before me and his father before him. And I've yet to meet the man or woman who posed a social problem too difficult for me to handle.
That's the spirit.
Howdy there.
Remember me, Mr. Butler?
No!
Ravenswood, come back! You gave your word! Come back, you coward! Come back here! I'll cut off your fringe benefits!
Ravenswood probably forgot something. He'll return shortly. Meanwhile, this is Marie, Mrs. Drysdale's upstairs girl. Marie, J.D. Clappett.
Howdy.
Jethro Bodine. Ellie Mae Clappett. And Grandma Clappett.
No, ma'am. I am a Moses.
Pardon?
Granny's related on my wife's side. They's the Moses family from Tennessee.
Then your name is Granny Moses? Grandma Moses.
That's right.
There was a very famous Grandma Moses who painted primitives.
I've whitewashed a few myself.
I'll show Marie to her room.
Listen, Marie, honey. Over here, you've got the run of the house. You don't have to hide upstairs. Ain't nothing wrong with that girl, but what some good cooking will cure her. She's half starved.
Poor thing is so weak, her knees keeps a buckling on her.
She's kind of pretty, though, for a skinny girl.
Just wait till she gets a mess of Granny's grits and hog gels. That'll fill her out.
Till I'll get some of cooking. Guess that butler fellow will be coming back directly.
Oh, and Granny, can we have some of that salted down possum belly that Ma sent us?
Well, I reckon it is kind of a company meal.
Granny, open up a jar of them pickled crow gizzards.
Now, Jed, we don't want to spoil these folks. They might get to thinking we eat like that every day.
Baby, will you do something nice for me?
Sure, Paul.
Will you go get into that pretty dress again?
Oh, Paul, Jethro will make fun of me.
No, I won't, Ellie Mae. Cross my heart.
Why,
That's my darling. Thank you. And then you be real nice to Marie. She's had a bad life.
I'll be nice to her. She's pretty.
Let's all be nice.
Now, Ravenswood, your appearances deceive you.
Oh, really,
Oh,
sir?
I do admit on the surface they do seem a bit rough, even cruel. But I assure you underneath they are placid, kindly, and gentle. See?
you shouldn't have called me a city girl.
Ellie Mae, leave me alone, please, Ellie Mae.
City girl.
Mr. Butler, don't never say anything nice to that girl. She'll kill you.
Come back here! Coward! Come back! You promised!
Jan, Ellie throwed me down on my head again. If she don't stop that, I'm gonna get a headache.
Stop riling her, Jethro.
But golly, all I said was she's pretty. That ain't no call to bust a fella's head.
Pardon.
Oh, howdy, Marie.
Hi, Marie.
Are you hungry, darling?
No, madame.
I'm whooping up something here that'll just set your mouth to watering.
Put some strength in your limbs, too.
Tell her what it is, Granny.
A great big mess of grits and hog jowls.
And salted down possum belly.
Oh, pickled crow gizzards. How you like that?
Don't tell me that child ain't hungry. Why, she's ready to drop in her tracks. Set her at the table and I'll dish up a mess.
No, please. I only came in to bring you a message from Miss Hathaway. She's preparing to paint the family portrait, and she wishes to know if you all will sit for her. May I tell her that you will sit for her?
Well, yeah, I reckon we'll do that.
Merci.
Well, let's get at it.
It's all right to talk while we're sitting.
Yeah, I reckon.
I found out something about Marie.
What?
She's scared of Mr. Butler.
How'd you know?
I asked her to go swimming with me, and she says he wouldn't allow it.
What business is it of his?
That's what I says. And she says he's a butler, and I'm just an upstairs girl. I got to do whatever he said.
We'll see about this. Ah, dingies. Let's hit Mr. Drysdale, find him, and give him a whooping. Catch him, Granny.
Ellie, you go put a dress on like you promised.
Uncle Jed, I'm going swimming. If I see him, I'll fetch him in.
Don't go jumping in with your clothes on again.
Oh, I won't, Uncle Jed. Miss Hathaway, she gave me a present last night. She says it's something special for her to go swimming in.
What'd she give you?
Oh, pair of trunks.
You go swimming in the cement pond. Boy, it's too big to go swimming in a trunk.
Ed?
Even a pair of them.
I got a feeling that Mr. Butler feller is gonna be trouble.
Yeah, we can handle him.
Well, I still say that I think Mr. Drysdale has a lot of nerve to ask us to board his wife's relations.
Maybe he just fed up. Man can get awful tired of having his wife's kin underfoot all the time. He told me that Butler fella had been living with them ever since they was married. I declare some in-laws latch on to free room and board like leeches. It takes a mule kick to jar 'em loose. You can't hardly blame Mr. Drysdale for trying to get shed of a critter like that.
Is that the way you feel?
You bet it is.
I'll see how fast I can get packed. I'll get out from underfoot just as quick as I can. No, Jed. I know when I'm not wanted. It don't take no mule kick to get shed of me.
Darnation, Granny, well, I wasn't talking about you. We couldn't get along without you.
No, Jed. I'm just a burdensome old woman. No good to nobody. Why don't you throw me down the well? Go ahead, pick me up, carry me out to the well, and throw me in.
Stop talking like that.
Uncle Jed! Uncle Jed! I caught him. Mr. Drysdale, he gave out, but I caught this fat little rascal.
Put him there.
You gonna whip me, Granny?
No, Jethro. I'm going to get thrown down the well. Why don't you throw us both down the well together? We're just no good leeches, both.
Mr. Butler, I'm sorry Jethro got mighty rough with you. He don't mean no harm. He's just an overgrown boy. Now, we's almighty pleasure to have you come and stay with us, and as long as you behave yourself, won't be no trouble. Oh, I'm Jed Clamper.
Sir.
This here's Granny. I reckon you and Jethro done met.
Yeah.
Sir.
Oh, and this here is my daughter, Ellie Mae.
Enchantée, mademoiselle. Vous êtes très belle, très charmant, très ravissant.
Don't you dare use them kind of words to a lady.
What do you say, Granny?
I ain't sure, but it sounded dirty.
If your daughter was pretty and charming, oh, you're so different from all the others. You're like a beautiful city girl.
He had not have said that.
Oh, Marie.
Oui, Miss Jane.
Didn't you say the Clamberts had agreed to sit for their portrait?
Oui. They said they would do it.
No!
What is this? I believe it to be self-preservation, madam. No!
Don't take to the stairs. She'll catch you sure.
I say now, let me go now, really. No!
Sounds like Ellie got him.
Afraid so.
Will somebody please tell me what is transpiring?
Uncle Jed. Ellie throwed him all right, but I caught him before he hit the floor.
So here you are. Well, now, everything seems to be fine. You see, Ravenswood, didn't I tell you the Clampetts were kindly, gentle people?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
We're gonna have to feed up both of them, Granny. His
The
knees
Beverly
is buckling,
Hillbillies consistently delivered some of its most inspired comedic mayhem when the Clampett family's practical mountain instincts collided with the carefully curated symbols of Beverly Hills wealth and leisure. Nowhere is this collision more spectacularly realized than in the glorious anarchy that erupts when Jed Clampett's newly purchased livestock take over the Drysdale Estate's tennis court. This sequence, vividly captured in the composite script, represents situational comedy at its absolute finest. A sustained crescendo of misunderstandings, visual gags, character revelation, and gentle social satire that defines why the series remains a beloved classic more than 6 decades later. The brilliance of this storyline begins with its perfect logical foundation. Having been advised by Mr. Drysdale to invest some of his $25 million in stock, Jed does exactly what any sensible man raised on the land would do. He acquires living, breathing, productive animals rather than abstract shares in distant corporations. With Granny's enthusiastic consultation, the family settles on a practical menagerie: a pair of goats for fresh milk, 3 pigs, 4 cows, a bull for breeding purposes, a sturdy mule, and a dozen chickens. Their conversation about these acquisitions is filled with the warm, methodical reasoning of people who understand the rhythms of rural self-sufficiency. Even in the lap of luxury, the Clampetts refuse to become idle. They want to work, raise animals, and maintain a connection to the productive life they have always known. The telephone ordering scene that precedes the chaos has already established the comedic premise, but the true payoff arrives when the animals physically arrive and are installed in what the Clampetts naturally assume is their new stock pen. The revelation that this enclosure is actually the Drysdale's pristine tennis court provides one of the series' most iconic visual punchlines. A space designed for the refined recreation of the wealthy elite is suddenly transformed into a bustling barnyard. The image of pigs rooting around goats, bleating chickens, scattering cows, grazing, and an energetic bull testing the boundaries of the court creates an unforgettable tableau of hillbilly practicality triumphing over Beverly Hills pretension. What elevates this sequence beyond mere slapstick is the sincerity and pride with which the Clampetts approach their new livestock venture. Jed shows off his mighty fine-looking stock with genuine satisfaction. The animals may need a little fattening up, but they represent sound investment and honest labor in his eyes. Granny and the younger generation share this enthusiasm. When Jethro helps herd the pigs with enthusiastic calls of Sue, Sue, and Pig Pig, we see not disruption for its own sake but a family joyfully recreating elements of their former life in their grand new surroundings. This earnestness makes the resulting chaos all the more delightful and sympathetic. Mr. Drysdale's reaction stands as one of the episode's comedic high points. The banker, who has spent considerable effort trying to keep the Clampetts happy while simultaneously shielding them from his socially ambitious wife, arrives to discover his neighbor's tennis court overrun with farm animals. His speechless horror, the way he clings desperately to the fence, and the strange gurgling noises he makes in his throat represent perfect physical comedy. Yet the Clampetts, ever optimistic and generous in their interpretation of others' behavior, completely misread his distress as overwhelming joy and gratitude. Jed and Granny beam with satisfaction, believing they have brought genuine happiness to their troubled neighbor. This dramatic irony, the audience understanding Drysdale's panic while the Clampetts see only positive outcomes, creates layer upon layer of sophisticated humor. The bull's repeated fence jumping becomes a running gag that perfectly symbolizes the untamed energy the Clampetts have introduced into this buttoned-up world. Even outside of mating season, the bull refuses to be contained by the flimsy middle fence, repeatedly escaping to the other side. Jethro's efforts to contain the animal, along with the general pandemonium of managing a full barnyard in a luxury estate, generate constant visual and physical comedy. These scenes demonstrate the writer's understanding that the best comedy arises not from random chaos but from characters behaving consistently according to their own logic and values. This livestock takeover brilliantly advances the show's central theme of cultural contrast. The tennis court itself serves as a potent symbol of Beverly Hills' values, a space dedicated entirely to leisure status and non-productive recreation. To the Clampetts, such a space represents wasted potential. Why have perfectly good fenced land if not to raise animals that can provide milk, meat, labor, and future generations? Their inability to comprehend the concept of a dedicated recreational court highlights how far removed modern wealth has become from the basic realities of sustenance and productivity. Through their innocent perspective, the show gently questions the priorities of high society without ever becoming preachy or mean-spirited. Granny's parallel efforts with the sober-up mash for Mrs. Drysdale interweave seamlessly with the tennis court chaos, creating a rich double storyline that showcases the entire family working together toward what they believe are helpful neighborly goals. While the men manage the livestock, Granny and Ellie may attempt to deliver medicine and goat's milk next door. The resulting cross-pollination of plots, animals escaping medicine being delivered through increasingly creative means, and Mr. Drysdale caught between multiple crises produces a comedic density that few shows have ever matched. The script excels in its character work throughout this sequence. Jed's quiet pride in his new stock reveals his steadfast character. He approaches wealth as a tool for building a better life for his family rather than as an opportunity for social climbing. Granny's feisty determination shines as she refuses to let social barriers prevent her from helping a neighbor in need. Ellie Mae's enthusiastic assistance, whether carrying milk or helping with the animals, shows her adaptable yet fundamentally unchanged nature. Jethro's eager but sometimes clumsy participation adds youthful energy and physical comedy to the proceedings. Mr. Drysdale's predicament deepens our understanding of his complex relationship with the Clampetts. He genuinely values their massive account and wants to keep them happy, yet their very presence threatens the carefully constructed social facade he maintains for his wife. The tennis court incident pushes him to the brink, creating some of the episode's most memorable moments of barely suppressed panic. His eventual flight into the bushes upon seeing signs of his wife's distress represents the culmination of mounting pressures that the Clampetts remain blissfully unaware of. Beyond the immediate laughs, this storyline reinforces one of the show's most important messages: authenticity and good intentions matter more than appearances. The Clampetts' transformation of the tennis court may look like chaos to outsiders, but it stems from honest practical values. They are not trying to offend or disrupt, they are simply being themselves in an environment that has never encountered anyone quite like them. The humor arises not from mocking their backwardness but from celebrating their unpretentious approach to life. The visual imagination displayed in these scenes is remarkable. Even without seeing the original footage, the transcript allows us to vividly picture the pigs rooting happily in the clay of the tennis court, the goats exploring their new surroundings, the bull asserting dominance, and the general barnyard atmosphere descending upon a space designed for white-clad players exchanging polite volleys. This contrast between refined leisure and earthy rural reality provides endless comedic possibilities that the writers exploit with masterful timing and escalation. As the chaos peaks with animals roaming, fences being tested, and Mr. Drysdale hanging precariously between financial desperation and social catastrophe, the episode achieves something rare in television comedy: sustained escalating hilarity that remains grounded in character and theme. The Clampetts' pride in their stock, their generous misinterpretation of Drysdale's reactions, and their continued efforts to be good neighbors, all contribute to a comedic ecosystem that feels organic rather than forced. This sequence also sets up important ongoing dynamics for the series. The tension between the Clampetts' desire to make their mansion feel like home and the Drysdales' desperate attempts to maintain appearances would fuel countless future episodes. The tennis court incident becomes emblematic of the larger cultural invasion the hillbillies represent, not through malice, but through their mere existence and natural behavior. In the broader context of American comedy, the livestock on the tennis court storyline exemplifies the Beverly Hillbillies' unique contribution to the genre. At a time when many sitcoms relied on domestic squabbles or workplace hijinks, this show dared to explore class and cultural differences with warmth and affection. Rather than pitting rural against urban in a battle for superiority, It found humor in their interaction while ultimately suggesting that the Clampetts' values of family, hard work and neighborly kindness offered something valuable that Beverly Hills society often lacked. By the time the immediate chaos begins to settle with the bull temporarily secured the animals somewhat acclimated and Mr. Drysdale retreating to process the latest disaster, the audience has been treated to comedy of the highest order. The sequence entertains thoroughly while deepening our affection for its central characters and gently illuminating the absurdities of social status and wealth. The Clampetts have once again transformed their surroundings in their own image, proving that no amount of money or prestige can contain the irrepressible spirit of the hills. The takeover of the tennis court stands as one of the foundational comedic achievements of the Beverly Hillbillies. It showcases the show's greatest strengths: brilliant premise execution, unforgettable visual gags, rich character work, and a warm-hearted perspective that finds joy in cultural collision. As the livestock settle into their unlikely new home and the Clampetts beam with satisfaction at a job well done, we cannot help but smile along with them. Beverly Hills may never be the same, but thanks to the Clampetts it has become infinitely more interesting, more alive and far more entertaining. The Beverly Hillbillies reached some of its most gloriously chaotic comedic heights when the Clampett family's well-intentioned mountain ways directly intersected with the delicate sensibilities of their Beverly Hills neighbors. Few incidents illustrate this explosive dynamic more perfectly than Mrs. Drysdale's fox fur fiasco, a sequence that begins with a simple misunderstanding and spirals into shotgun blasts, dramatic, fainting spells, frantic chauffeur assistance, and a cascade of hilarious consequences that ripple throughout the Wooks neighborhood. This storyline, masterfully embedded in the composite script, showcases the series at its satirical and farcical best, using one unfortunate encounter to illuminate the vast gulf between Ozark pragmatism and high society fragility. The incident opens with classic hillbilly initiative. Jethro, ever the enthusiastic protector of the family's new territory, spots what he believes is a lady in distress fighting with a furry-looking varmint. In true Clampett fashion, he grabs the family shotgun with the noble intention of defending the woman. What Jethro perceives as a dangerous wild animal is in reality Mrs. Drysdale's prized fox fur stole, a fashionable accessory, symbolizing her status and refined taste. In one of the episode's most perfectly timed visual gags, Mrs. Drysdale whips around and throws the fur into the air just as Jethro fires both barrels. The result is catastrophic for the fur but legendary for comedy. The elegant fox piece is blown to shreds in mid-air. The contrast between Mrs. Drysdale's luxurious world and the Clampetts' direct, no-nonsense approach to problem-solving could not be more delightfully stark. What follows is a masterclass in physical and situational comedy. Mrs. Drysdale, already high-strung and given to dramatic reactions, faints dead away. Jethro and the others must rush to catch her, with the chauffeur eventually required to help carry the unconscious socialite back to the car. The image of two strong men struggling with the limp form of Beverly Hills' most delicate resident while trying to process what just happened provides rich visual humor. Jed Clampett's calm, reasonable narration of the events afterward only heightens the irony. He recounts the story with the straightforward honesty of a man describing an everyday occurrence back in the hills, completely unaware of how catastrophic the incident appears to the Drysdale household. Granny's reaction to the news is equally priceless. Rather than expressing horror at the destruction of expensive property, she immediately begins analyzing the situation through her mountain lens. She suggests the fox might have been a pet, then pivots to her understanding of city folks and their eccentricities. This leads naturally into one of the script's most revealing conversations about social class. When Jed asks what kind of people would keep a fox as a pet, Granny replies with sage wisdom, "Them kind of people are liable to do anything." The line lands with perfect comedic weight, encapsulating the Clampetts' growing awareness that their new neighbors operate by an entirely different set of rules that often seem bizarre and impractical to mountain sensibilities. The aftermath of the fox fur incident becomes the catalyst for Granny's full-scale medical intervention. Convinced that Mrs. Drysdale's fainting spells and erratic behavior stem from alcoholism, Granny doubles down on her determination to prepare the powerful sober-up mash. This connection between the shotgun incident and the folk remedy creates beautiful narrative cohesion. What begins as a single moment of chaos evolves into an extended campaign of hillbilly compassion. The script uses this progression to deepen character relationships and heighten cultural contrasts. The Clampetts see a neighbor in need and respond with action, resourcefulness, and genuine concern. The Drysdales, by comparison, respond with denial, dramatic exaggeration, and social maneuvering. Mrs. Drysdale's subsequent hallucinations rank among the episode's most memorable comic highlights. Upon waking, she describes seeing a dreadful giant with a huge gun destroying her beautiful fox fur. Later, she excitedly reports visions of a witch flying past the window and most spectacularly a goat in the bathtub with a chicken riding on its back. These hallucinations are of course partially grounded in reality due to the Clampetts' increasingly creative delivery attempts. The goat and chicken combination is particularly inspired, a direct result of Ellie Mae following Granny's instructions to bring fresh milk upstairs. Mrs. Drysdale's ecstatic reaction to these visions, interpreting them as proof of her refined nervous condition rather than evidence of actual barnyard intrusion, provides sharp satire on the tendency of the wealthy to romanticize their own dysfunction. The involvement of the chauffeur and household staff adds another layer of social commentary. The need for two men to carry the fainted Mrs. Drysdale speaks volumes about her delicate self-image. Ravenswood, the butler's horrified reactions, and his insistence on maintaining proper distance further emphasize the rigid social protocols that govern the Drysdale household. In stark contrast, the Clampetts operate with refreshing directness. When they want to help, they climb trees, lead goats through hallways, or fire shotguns at perceived threats. This freedom from pretense becomes one of their most attractive qualities throughout the series. Jed Clampett's character shines brightly in how he handles the aftermath. Rather than becoming defensive or apologetic in a way that compromises his dignity, he maintains quiet composure while trying to make things right. His concern for Mrs. Drysdale's well-being feels authentic. Even after the destructive shotgun blast, the Clampetts' primary impulse remains helpful rather than evasive. This consistent moral center prevents the comedy from ever sliding into cruelty. We laugh at the chaos, but we never laugh at the Clampetts themselves. Instead, we laugh with them and at the absurd world they find themselves navigating. The fox fur fiasco also provides excellent opportunities for physical comedy involving the entire ensemble. Jethro's enthusiastic but misguided heroism, Granny's determined medical preparations, Ellie Mae's willing participation in increasingly outlandish delivery schemes, and Mr. Drysdale's desperate attempts at damage control create a rich web of intersecting storylines. Each character acts according to their established personality, resulting in comedy that feels organic and character-driven rather than arbitrarily imposed. Beyond the immediate laughs, this sequence offers gentle but pointed social satire. Mrs. Drysdale's attachment to her fox fur stole represents the superficiality of status symbols. The fact that such an item can cause such dramatic distress when destroyed highlights how disconnected certain segments of society have become from practical reality. Meanwhile, the Clampetts' shotgun solution, while destructive, stems from a protective instinct that the show clearly values. The writers walk a delicate balance here, acknowledging the mishap, while celebrating the underlying spirit that caused it. One of the most satisfying aspects of this storyline is how it reinforces the Clampetts' role as agents of vitality in a somewhat stagnant social environment. Before their arrival, the Drysdale household appears trapped in cycles of nervous conditions, social anxiety, and emotional distance. The Hillbillies bring noise animals direct communication and unfiltered kindness that shake this world out of its complacency. Even if the shaking sometimes involves double-barreled shotguns, the overall effect is invigorating. The chauffeur's involvement adds a nice touch of class commentary. As working staff caught between the hysterical demands of Mrs. Drysdale and the well-meaning chaos of the Clampetts, he represents the average person trying to maintain order amid colliding worlds. His reluctant assistance in carrying the fainted socialite becomes both practically necessary and symbolically rich. As the dust settles from the fox fur incident and Mrs. Drysdale begins embracing her new hallucinations with surprising enthusiasm, the script achieves something remarkable. It transforms what could have been a simple destructive accident into a sustained comedic set piece that advances multiple character arcs while delivering consistent laughter. We gain deeper appreciation for Granny's compassionate determination, Jed's steady leadership, Jethro's boyish enthusiasm, and the family's collective generosity of spirit. In the broader context of the series, the fox fur fiasco stands as a defining early episode moment that establishes the pattern of cultural collision that would sustain the Beverly Hillbillies for years. It demonstrates how the Clampetts' presence, while disruptive to surface appearances, ultimately brings life, honesty, and unexpected joy to their wealthy neighbors. The laughter generated by shotgun blasts and fainting spells serves a larger purpose, reminding audiences that authenticity and good intentions matter far more than polished exteriors or expensive accessories. The sequence also showcases the exceptional writing craft of Paul Henning and his team. Every element, from the precise timing of the shotgun blast to the escalating hallucinations to the repeated attempts to deliver medicine, builds upon what came before with masterful escalation. The comedy never feels forced because it flows naturally from deeply established character traits and the fundamental premise of the show. By the time this storyline reaches its peak with Mrs. Drysdale happily declaring herself the happiest woman in the world due to her shattered nerves and vivid hallucinations, the audience has been treated to comedy of the highest caliber. The fox fur may be gone, but in its place has emerged something far more valuable: a richer understanding of the characters and a deeper appreciation for the warm-hearted chaos the Clampetts bring wherever they go. This incident, like so many in the series, leaves Beverly Hills forever changed and infinitely more entertaining. The shotgun has spoken, the fur has scattered to the winds, and the Clampetts have once again proven that their brand of honest, direct mountain-style problem-solving can shake even the most carefully constructed social facades. In doing so, they remind us why we continue to love this remarkable family and the timeless comedy they create. The introduction of Ravenswood, the butler, and Marie, the upstairs girl, into the Clampett household marks a significant evolution in the composite script, shifting the comedic focus from external chaos involving livestock and fox furs to the more intimate domestic collisions that occur when Beverly Hills servants are forced to coexist with the irrepressible hillbilly family. This storyline represents one of the most deliciously layered additions to the early episodes, allowing the Beverly Hillbillies to explore class dynamics, pride, humility, and cultural adaptation within the confines of the Clampett mansion itself. The arrival of these two characters from the Drysdale household injects fresh energy into the narrative, while providing some of the script's sharpest observations about snobbery, kindness, and what truly constitutes civilized behavior. Mr. Drysdale, ever the pragmatic and somewhat desperate banker, sees an opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. With his wife Margaret away in Boston, he decides to loan his wife's longtime butler Ravenswood and the upstairs maid Marie to the Clampetts. Officially framed as doing the Clampetts a favor by providing them with proper household staff, the arrangement is transparently self-serving. Drysdale wants to be rid of the burdensome pair while simultaneously attempting to polish the rough edges of his wealthiest clients. This setup creates immediate comedic tension as the Clampetts, who have never had nor wanted servants, suddenly find themselves hosting two very different representatives of the world they have disrupted. Ravenswood enters the story as a magnificent comic foil. Portrayed as the epitome of haughty British-style butler tradition despite working for an American family, he carries himself with immense professional pride and barely concealed disdain for his new surroundings. His lineage of butlers, father and grandfather before him, has instilled in him an unshakable sense of social hierarchy and proper decorum. From the moment he steps into the Clampett mansion, Ravenswood finds himself in a nightmare of informality. The family's warm, direct greetings, their lack of concern for rigid etiquette, and their enthusiastic hospitality clash violently with everything he holds sacred. His repeated attempts to maintain dignity while surrounded by mountain dialect, offers of pickled crow gizzards, and casual invitations to set a spell produce some of the episode's finest running gags. The first encounter between Granny and Ravenswood is pure comedic perfection. When the butler haughtily announces his profession, Granny misinterprets his role as family kinship, praising him for not being ashamed to help his relatives in their time of need. This misunderstanding sets the tone for all future interactions. Ravenswood's icy "I am a butler" declaration meets Granny's genuine foxy warmth, creating an unbridgeable cultural chasm that the script mines repeatedly for laughs. The tiny but formidable Granny quickly becomes Ravenswood's greatest challenge, a woman who refuses to be impressed by titles or formal manners and who sees through pretension with laser-like clarity. Marie, by contrast, arrives as a timid, fragile counterpoint to the butler's arrogance. Described as weak-kneed and half-starved, she represents the more vulnerable side of the servant class. The Clampetts, particularly Granny and Ellie Mae, immediately take her under their wing with characteristic generosity. Granny's diagnosis is swift and practical. The girl simply needs good mountain cooking. The scenes in which Granny prepares hearty meals of grits, hog jowls, salted possum belly, and pickled crow gizzards for the poor starved girl are both hilarious and deeply touching. Marie's initial reluctance and wide-eyed astonishment at the Clampetts' boisterous hospitality gradually give way to quiet appreciation, hinting at the transformative power of genuine kindness. The cultural collisions within the household provide endless comedic opportunities. Ravenswood's horror at the family's informal lifestyle reaches peak levels during mealtimes when the Clampetts invite the servants to eat with them as equals. His attempts to instruct the family in proper etiquette are consistently thwarted by their cheerful disregard for such concerns. Meanwhile, Jethro's enthusiastic but clumsy interactions and Ellie Mae's tomboyish energy further unsettle the butler's carefully ordered world. The script excels at showing how the Clampetts' unpretentious way of life challenges Ravenswood's rigid worldview far more effectively than any direct confrontation could. One of the most delightful aspects of this storyline is how it reverses traditional power dynamics. In most comedies involving servants and masters, the servants are the clever ones secretly controlling events. Here the masters are the unsophisticated but fundamentally decent Clampetts, while the servant Ravenswood clings desperately to his sense of superiority. This inversion allows the show to satirize class snobbery with particular effectiveness. Ravenswood's pride in his profession and his lineage becomes increasingly ridiculous when contrasted with the Clampetts' genuine warmth and lack of pretension. The audience is invited to question which household truly understands hospitality and human dignity. Granny's big heart shines throughout these scenes. Despite her initial distrust of the fancy pants butler, she shows remarkable compassion toward Marie. Her determination to fatten up the young woman with traditional mountain fare represents more than just comedy. It embodies the Clampett philosophy that good food and genuine care can heal almost any ailment. The contrast between Granny's robust, life-affirming approach to nourishment and the apparent emotional starvation in the Drysdale household provides some of the script's most insightful moments. The physical comedy involving Ravenswood reaches hilarious heights when he is repeatedly thrown off balance both literally and figuratively by the family's behavior. Ellie Mae's enthusiastic greetings, which sometimes involve more physicality than the butler is prepared for, leave him rattled and disoriented. His attempts to retreat into formal dignity are constantly undermined by the family's friendliness. Even his strategic withdrawal is thwarted when Jethro or others enthusiastically drag him back into the fray. These moments showcase the script's gift for blending verbal wit with physical farce. The arrangement also allows Mr. Drysdale to continue his delicate balancing act. By sending the servants to the Clampetts, he hopes to both curry favor and create some breathing room in his own household. However, as reports of the culture clashes filter back or as he imagines them, his anxiety only increases. This ongoing connection between the two households maintains narrative momentum while allowing for continued commentary on the banker's complicated relationship with his wealthiest clients. As the days progress, subtle changes begin to appear. Marie starts to blossom under the Clampetts' care, gaining strength and confidence from their straightforward kindness. Even Ravenswood, though he would never admit it, finds himself forced to confront the limitations of his rigid worldview. The script handles these developments with a light but sure touch, never sacrificing comedy for sentimentality while still allowing room for genuine character growth. This storyline also deepens our understanding of Jed Clampett's leadership. His decision to accept the servants, despite Granny's initial objections, reflects his characteristic balance of practicality and compassion. He recognizes the potential benefit to both households while maintaining the family's core values of hospitality and fairness. Jed's quiet wisdom provides the steady foundation upon which all the household chaos can unfold without descending into true conflict. The contrast between the two servants themselves adds another rich layer. Ravenswood's pompous certainty stands in sharp opposition to Marie's quiet uncertainty. Through them, the script examines different responses to class and service, one defensive and superior, the other vulnerable and adaptable. The Clampetts' influence affects each in distinct but meaningful ways, further demonstrating the family's transformative presence in Beverly Hills. In the larger context of the series, the arrival of Ravenswood and Marie represents an important expansion of the show's comedic universe. By bringing elements of the Drysdale world directly into the Clampett home, the writers create new opportunities for sustained interaction and character development. This domestic focus complements the earlier external chaos involving livestock and neighborhood incidents, creating a richer overall tapestry of Beverly Hills life as experienced by the Hillbillies. The humor in these scenes never feels mean-spirited toward Ravenswood. While his snobbery is gently mocked, the script also acknowledges his professional dedication and the genuine challenges he faces, adapting to such a dramatically different environment. This balanced approach is one of the Beverly Hillbillies' greatest strengths. It finds comedy in human foibles while maintaining affection for all its characters. As Ravenswood and Marie settle, however, uneasily into life with the Clampetts, the stage is set for even greater domestic adventures. The butler's ongoing battle to maintain standards, Granny's determined campaign to feed and humanize everyone around her, and the younger generation's enthusiastic participation ensure that life in the mansion will never be boring. The cultural exchange, though often chaotic, ultimately proves enriching for all involved. This particular thread beautifully illustrates why the Beverly Hillbillies succeeded so brilliantly as comedy. It takes seemingly simple premises, wealthy people sending their servants to live with hillbillies, and extracts maximum humor, insight and warmth from the resulting interactions. Through Ravenswood's outrage and Marie's quiet transformation, we gain deeper appreciation for the Clampetts' fundamental decency and the refreshing power of their unpretentious approach to life. The butler and the upstairs girl have arrived, and Beverly Hills society will never be quite the same. In their presence, the Clampett household becomes an even more vibrant laboratory for exploring the timeless themes of class, kindness, pride, and adaptation that make this series eternally appealing. The true genius of the Beverly Hillbillies often reveals itself most powerfully in the intimate domestic collisions that occur when two completely incompatible worldviews are forced to share the same roof. Part of what makes this composite script so enduringly entertaining is the masterful introduction and development of the relationship between Ravenswood, the epitome of haughty, professional pride, and Granny Clampett, the indomitable spirit of Ozark Mountain authenticity. Their ongoing confrontation, which forms the emotional and comedic core of this section, transcends simple culture clash gags to become a profound and hilarious meditation on pride, prejudice, class humility, and the quiet power of genuine human decency. In the Grand Clampett mansion, pride and prejudice meet their match in a tiny but ferocious woman who refuses to be intimidated by titles, etiquette, or starched collars. Ravenswood arrives as the perfect embodiment of old-world servant-class snobbery transplanted into the heart of Beverly Hills. A man who can trace his butler lineage through generations, he carries himself with an almost theatrical sense of superiority. To him, the world is neatly divided into those who understand proper social hierarchy and those who do not. His vocabulary, posture, and entire demeanor are carefully cultivated weapons designed to maintain distance and assert status. When Mr. Drysdale sends him to the Clampett household, Ravenswood believes he is entering a chaotic but temporary assignment where he will impose order, teach refinement, and perhaps elevate the uncouth hillbillies through the sheer force of his professional excellence. He has no idea that he is walking into the lion's den, or more accurately into Granny Clampett's kitchen. From their very first meeting, the fireworks are spectacular. When Ravenswood stiffly announces his profession with the gravitas of a royal proclamation, "I am a butler," Granny responds with complete sincerity and warm approval. She assumes he must be a member of Mrs. Drysdale's family, who has come to help care for the poor woman during her time of need. Her genuine praise for a family that is not ashamed to help their own completely disarms his attempt at establishing superiority. This initial misunderstanding sets the template for all their future interactions. Ravenswood attempts to assert class boundaries and professional dignity, while Granny cheerfully ignores or demolishes those boundaries with mountain common sense and unfiltered kindness. The comedy that emerges is never cruel but consistently devastating to the butler's pretensions. What makes Granny such a formidable opponent is her complete lack of deference to social status. She has lived long enough, survived enough hardships, and raised enough family to know that a person's worth is measured by character, not by title or uniform. When Ravenswood looks down his nose at the Clampett way of life, Granny looks right back at him with clear, unflinching eyes and sees nothing but a proud, somewhat ridiculous man who desperately needs a good meal and a dose of reality. Her feisty spirit, honed through decades of mountain life, proves more than a match for the butler's carefully rehearsed hauteur. Every time he attempts to retreat behind formal language or professional protocol, Granny barrels straight through with straightforward questions and offers of hospitality that leave him sputtering. The script particularly excels in the kitchen and mealtime scenes where cultural warfare reaches its peak. Granny's preparation of traditional mountain dishes, great big messes of grits and hog jowls, salted possum belly, pickled crow gizzards, and other hearty fare becomes both a gesture of welcome and a subtle challenge to Ravenswood's refined sensibilities. While he recoils in barely concealed horror at the thought of eating such common food, Granny insists with maternal authority that good cooking will cure what ails both him and Marie. Her philosophy is simple and profound: people who don't eat right get might cranky, and the solution is honest, nourishing mountain food served with love. The contrast between her robust, life-affirming approach to nourishment and the apparent emotional starvation in the Drysdale household provides some of the episode's most insightful social commentary. Ravenswood's repeated attempts to maintain proper servant-master distance are consistently thwarted by the Clampetts' enthusiastic egalitarianism. When he tries to serve formally or instruct the family in etiquette, they respond by inviting him to sit down and eat with them as family. When he expresses shock at their informal ways, Granny delivers some of her most memorable lines, cutting through his pretension with surgical precision. Her willingness to call out his snobbery while simultaneously offering him compassion creates a beautifully complex dynamic. She may threaten to throw him in the cement pond if he looks down his nose at her one more time, but she also worries about whether he and Marie are being properly fed. This combination of toughness and tenderness is what makes Granny one of television's most beloved characters. The physical comedy involving Ravenswood reaches wonderful heights throughout these encounters. Whether he is being unintentionally manhandled by Ellie Mae's enthusiastic greetings, startled by Jethro's booming voice, or thrown off balance by Granny's sudden declarations, the butler's carefully maintained dignity is constantly under siege. Yet the script never reduces him to a mere punching bag. There are subtle moments that suggest the beginning of reluctant respect, or at least grudging adaptation, as he witnesses the genuine affection and loyalty that bind the Clampett family together. His professional pride may be battered, but the audience senses that the experience is challenging him in ways he never anticipated. Marie's presence alongside Ravenswood adds important emotional texture to the storyline. While the butler represents prideful resistance, Marie embodies quiet vulnerability. Her transformation under Granny's care from a weak-kneed, timid girl to someone slowly gaining strength and confidence serves as a living testament to the healing power of the Clampett approach to life. Granny's campaign to fatten her up becomes one of the most heartwarming threads running through these scenes. The contrast between the two servants highlights different responses to the Clampett household, one defensive and superior, the other open and receptive. Through them, the script explores how the same environment can affect people in dramatically different ways. Jed Clampett's role as the steady patriarch is crucial in these domestic conflicts. He listens patiently to Granny's complaints about the fancy pants butler while also recognizing the potential benefit of having help around the large mansion. His decision to welcome both Ravenswood and Marie, despite initial resistance, demonstrates his characteristic wisdom and generosity. Jed understands that true hospitality sometimes means accepting people exactly as they are while gently encouraging them to grow. His quiet mediation between Granny's fiery temperament and Ravenswood's rigid formality helps maintain household harmony even amid constant comedic friction. The theme of pride and prejudice runs deep through this entire section. Ravenswood's prejudice against the Clampetts stems from class-based assumptions about education, refinement, and proper behavior. Granny's initial wariness of him comes from her distrust of anyone who puts on airs. Yet, as the story progresses, both characters are forced to confront the limitations of their preconceptions. The humor arises not from one side triumphing over the other but from the messy, human process of learning to coexist. The script suggests that genuine respect often emerges not through formal declarations but through shared meals, honest conversations, and small acts of everyday kindness. In the broader context of 1960s American television, this domestic culture clash was remarkably sophisticated. While many sitcoms avoided serious examination of class differences, the Beverly Hillbillies dove straight into the heart of the matter with warmth and humor. By placing a proud professional servant in the home of unpretentious millionaires who refused to act like millionaires, the show created a unique laboratory for exploring American ideas about equality, dignity, and social mobility. The fact that the Hillbillies consistently come across as the more civilized party through their generosity, loyalty, and lack of snobbery delivers a gentle but powerful message about what truly matters in human relationships. The writing in these scenes demonstrates exceptional craft. The dialogue crackles with authentic mountain dialect on one side and stiff formal language on the other, creating natural comedic rhythm. Visual gags involving Ravenswood's increasingly disheveled appearance, his startled reactions and his futile attempts to impose order are perfectly timed. Yet beneath the laughter lies genuine insight into human nature, how pride can isolate us, how prejudice blinds us, and how authentic kindness can bridge even the widest cultural divides. As this section of the script unfolds, we witness the beginning of a slow but meaningful transformation. Ravenswood may never fully abandon his professional pride, but he is undeniably affected by the Clampett way of life. Granny, for her part, maintains her feisty spirit while showing increasing compassion toward both servants. The mansion, once a symbol of alien luxury, gradually becomes a more lived-in human space, where different worlds learn to coexist, however chaotically. This confrontation between the arrogant butler and Granny Clampett stands as one of the richest comedic and thematic achievements in these early episodes. It showcases the Beverly Hillbillies at its very best, using broad humor to explore deep truths about human nature, class pride, and the redemptive power of kindness. In the battle between starched dignity and mountain authenticity, it is the human heart that ultimately triumphs, often with a plate of grits and hog jowls in hand. The mansion has never been more alive, more chaotic, or more genuinely warm than during these encounters. As Ravenswood struggles to maintain his composure and Granny continues her campaign of compassionate disruption, the audience is treated to comedy that entertains thoroughly while quietly illuminating what it means to be truly civilized. The pride may bend, the prejudice may soften, but the laughter and the lessons continue long after the credits roll. One of the most charming and subtly profound arcs in the early episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies is the gentle transformation of Ellie Mae Clampett from a barefoot overalls-wearing tomboy of the Ozark Mountains into a young woman, tentatively exploring the feminine graces of Beverly Hills high society, all while never fully surrendering her wild-spirited mountain soul. This storyline, beautifully developed across the composite script, provides some of the warmest, funniest, and most emotionally resonant moments in these early adventures. Through Ellie Mae's journey, the series explores themes of identity, gender expectations, personal growth, and the beautiful tension between tradition and adaptation, all wrapped in the show's signature blend of broad comedy and heartfelt affection. Ellie Mae enters the Beverly Hills chapter of her life as the quintessential mountain girl, strong, fearless, innocent, and completely at home in nature. She wrestles animals, climbs trees, helps with farm chores, and moves through the world with unself-conscious physical confidence. Her wardrobe of overalls and boys' clothes is not a fashion statement but a practical reflection of her active lifestyle. When the family relocates to the mansion, however, new influences begin to gently nudge her toward different expressions of femininity. Chief among these is the well-meaning Miss Jane Hathaway, Mr. Drysdale's loyal secretary, who takes a special interest in helping Ellie Mae navigate the unfamiliar social terrain of Beverly Hills. The transformation begins modestly but with delightful comedic potential. Miss Hathaway introduces Ellie Mae to pretty dresses, including elegant ball gowns, and encourages her to experiment with more traditionally feminine attire. What makes these scenes so effective is Ellie Mae's sincere effort to honor her promise while remaining completely true to herself. She agrees to wear dresses for 3 whole days, a significant commitment for a girl more accustomed to roughhousing than rustling silk. The script captures her innocent determination perfectly. She wants to please her family and try new things, but she refuses to dim her vibrant personality in the process. The pinnacle of this comedic transformation arrives in one of the episode's most memorable visual and physical gags. Dressed in a shimmering ball gown that makes her look every bit the queen her father describes, Ellie Mae proceeds to do what comes most naturally to her: play football. The image of this graceful young woman in formal evening wear, running, tackling, scoring touchdowns, and kicking field goals is pure Beverly Hillbillies genius. It perfectly encapsulates the central joke of her transformation. She is willing to wear the dress, but she will not abandon the joy and freedom of her active nature. The ball gown does not civilize her. Instead, she happily incorporates it into her existing way of life. This scene delivers both broad physical comedy and a gentle celebration of authenticity. Ellie Mae is not becoming a proper lady in the restrictive Beverly Hills sense. She is expanding her world while staying fundamentally herself. Jethro's reaction to his cousin's new look provides additional layers of humor and sibling-style teasing. When he calls her a city gal, Ellie Mae's fiery response reveals that beneath the pretty dress beats the same spirited heart. Her threat to turn him every way but loose if he continues teasing shows that the ball gown has not softened her wrestling instincts. These moments between the cousins are written with genuine warmth and understanding of family dynamics. Jethro's good-natured ribbing and Ellie Mae's feisty comebacks feel authentic and loving, strengthening our investment in both characters. Jed Clampett's pride in his daughter's growth is one of the most touching elements of this arc. When he sees Ellie Mae descending the stairs in her ball gown looking radiant and queenly, his emotional reaction fighting back tears as he recalls the wild mountain girl she once was reveals the deep love and protective wisdom of a father. Watching his child mature, his quiet observation that Beverly Hills has performed something of a miracle with Ellie Mae carries genuine emotion. Yet Jed remains wise enough to understand that this transformation must happen on Ellie Mae's own terms. He encourages her growth without demanding she abandon her roots, striking the perfect balance that defines his character throughout the series. Granny's perspective adds another rich dimension to Ellie Mae's evolution. As the family matriarch deeply rooted in mountain traditions, Granny initially views the fancy dresses with a mixture of suspicion and reluctant approval. She recognizes the prettiness of the garments but worries about their practicality. However, her love for Ellie Mae ultimately leads her to support the girl's experiments with new styles. Granny's famous line comparing Ellie Mae's beauty to a tub of fresh churned butter perfectly captures her folksy way of expressing admiration. Even as she encourages the change, Granny remains a grounding force, reminding everyone that true worth lies deeper than clothing. The script uses Ellie Mae's wardrobe journey to gently satirize rigid gender expectations of the era while celebrating individual freedom. In the 1960s, television often portrayed young women either as demure ladies or tomboys needing to be tamed. The Beverly Hillbillies takes a refreshingly nuanced approach. Ellie Mae does not have to choose between strength and femininity, she can embody both. The ball gown does not restrict her, she simply adds it to her repertoire of experiences. This progressive yet grounded perspective feels remarkably modern and contributes significantly to the show's enduring appeal across generations. Miss Hathaway's role as mentor and friend to Ellie Mae is handled with sensitivity and humor. Jane's genuine affection for the entire Clampett family shines through in her patient guidance. She understands that forcing drastic change would be counterproductive. Instead, she offers gentle encouragement and practical help, such as pinning notes to the dresses to help Ellie Mae remember their purposes. This supportive relationship provides a lovely counterpoint to the more adversarial dynamic with Ravenswood, showing different ways outsiders can interact positively with the Hillbilly family. The physical comedy surrounding Ellie Mae's new wardrobe reaches delightful heights in several scenes. Whether she is struggling to move gracefully in formal attire, threatening to wrestle Jethro while wearing silk, or combining the elegance of a ball gown with the athleticism of football, her adventures consistently deliver laughs while reinforcing her core personality. These gags work because they are rooted in character rather than random slapstick. Ellie Mae is not failing at being a lady, she is succeeding at being Ellie Mae in new circumstances. Beyond the surface humor, Ellie Mae's transformation arc touches on deeper themes of identity and belonging. As a young woman suddenly thrust from rural isolation into one of the world's most glamorous zip codes, she faces the universal challenge of figuring out who she wants to be. The script handles this with remarkable tenderness. Ellie Mae's journey is never portrayed as a rejection of her mountain roots but as an expansion of possibilities. She can wear overalls one day and a ball gown the next. She can climb trees and score touchdowns. This fluidity of identity feels liberating and deeply humane. Jed's conversation with Granny about Ellie Mae's progress reveals the patriarch's thoughtful perspective on change. He acknowledges that city life has brought positive growth for his daughter while remaining committed to keeping the family united and true to their values. This balance, embracing positive adaptation while preserving core identity, represents one of the show's most enduring philosophical strengths. The Clampetts are not static characters frozen in mountain stereotypes. They are living, breathing people capable of growth without losing their essential selves. The ball gown football sequence stands as one of the iconic visual moments of these early episodes. It perfectly distills the entire Ellie Mae transformation arc into a single unforgettable image: beauty, strength, grace, and unbridled joy, all existing harmoniously in one remarkable young woman. The contrast between the elegant dress and her enthusiastic athletic performance creates comedy that is both visually striking and thematically rich. It suggests that true elegance comes not from following rigid social rules but from expressing oneself authentically. As this arc continues, we sense the beginning of Ellie Mae's longer journey toward self-discovery. She will face many more challenges and opportunities in Beverly Hills, but the foundation established in these early episodes, a healthy blend of mountain spirit and openness to new experiences, serves her well. Her willingness to try new things while maintaining her core values makes her one of the most relatable and beloved characters in the series. The transformation of Ellie Mae Clampett from overalls to ball gowns and back again represents far more than simple wardrobe comedy. It embodies the show's optimistic belief that people can grow and adapt without losing their essential goodness. Through her adventures, the Beverly Hillbillies offers a gentle lesson in the beauty of being true to oneself while remaining open to life's possibilities. In a world that often demands conformity, Ellie Mae's spirited navigation of new territory provides both laughter and inspiration. Her story reminds us why we fell in love with the Clampetts in the first place. They approach life with courage, humor, and an open heart. Whether in overalls or ball gowns, Ellie Mae remains wonderfully unforgettably herself, and that the show suggests is the greatest transformation of all. Jethro Bodine stands as one of the most endearingly comic figures in the entire Beverly Hillbillies canon, and the composite script gives him ample room to shine through a series of delightful misadventures that perfectly capture his enthusiastic, good-hearted but gloriously dim-witted approach to life in the big city. Part 9 of this review celebrates Jethro's various city adventures, from his earnest participation in the telephone stock transaction to his ill-fated possum hunting expeditions and his budding social life with Miss Jane Hathaway as a masterclass in character-driven comedy. Through Jethro, the show explores the universal experience of trying to find one's place in an unfamiliar world wrapped in layers of physical humor, verbal malapropisms, and boundless youthful energy that make him impossible not to love. Jethro's personality is a perfect blend of childlike wonder, unwavering confidence, and spectacular misunderstanding of the world around him. As Jed's nephew, he approaches every new experience with maximum enthusiasm and minimum comprehension. Whether he is helping purchase livestock over the telephone or venturing out into Beverly Hills in search of possum for the family table, Jethro throws himself into each task with complete commitment. His adventures consistently generate comedy because they stem from his sincere desire to contribute to the family and adapt to city life, even as his mountain logic collides spectacularly with modern reality. The telephone stock transaction sequence provides Jethro with some of his finest moments in the script. Standing beside Uncle Jed during the legendary call to the operator, Jethro offers enthusiastic support as his uncle lists their desired stock: a pair of goats, 3 pigs, 4 cows, a bull, a mule, and a dozen chickens. Jethro's wide-eyed belief in the venture and his proud assessment of the resulting animals as mighty fine-looking stock reveal both his loyalty to the family and his charming inability to grasp financial abstractions. When the bull repeatedly jumps the fence on the tennis court, Jethro eagerly helps herd the livestock, calling out "Sue, Sue" to the pigs with boyish delight. These scenes showcase Jethro as the energetic muscle of the family, always ready to pitch in, even when his efforts add to the general chaos. One of Jethro's most hilarious solo adventures involves his determination to hunt possum in Beverly Hills. Convinced that his mother Pearl and sister Jethrine will soon arrive and crave their favorite mountain meal of grits and possum shanks, Jethro sets out with his gun and dog Duke to provide for the family. What follows is a classic fish-out-of-water sequence as Jethro navigates the manicured lawns, high walls, and private swimming pools, cement ponds of Beverly Hills. The image of this tall, strapping young man in hillbilly attire, climbing fences and jumping hedges while searching for elusive possums, produces visual comedy of the highest order. His encounters with irritated residents, half-naked sunbathers yelling at him to get out, highlight the absurdity of trying to maintain mountain self-sufficiency in one of America's most exclusive neighborhoods. The culmination of Jethro's hunting expedition, when he is chased by a fellow with a club, a security guard or policeman, and eventually arrested for hunting in Beverly Hills, delivers both physical farce and pointed social observation. Jethro's innocent explanation that he was simply trying to find food for the family contrasts sharply with the city's rules against such practical pursuits. His clever escape from the police car with Duke showcases his resourcefulness and country cunning, even as it underscores how out of place he feels in this new environment. These scenes brilliantly illustrate the Clampetts' ongoing struggle to reconcile their self-reliant mountain values with Beverly Hills regulations and social norms. Jethro's budding relationship with Miss Jane Hathaway opens another rich vein of comedy and character development. When Jane takes him bowling an activity he initially confuses with something involving actual bowls for eating, Jethro approaches the date with his characteristic enthusiasm. The script's references to their evening out hint at Jethro's growing interest in city social activities while maintaining his essential personality. His awkward attempts at sophistication, combined with Jane's patient affection for the entire family, create a sweet counterpoint to the broader chaos. Jane sees something endearing in Jethro's unpolished charm just as the audience does, and their interactions add warmth and gentle romantic possibility to the narrative. What makes Jethro such a compelling comedic character is his complete lack of self-awareness combined with total sincerity. He never doubts his own abilities or understanding of situations. When he misinterprets social cues or applies mountain solutions to city problems, he does so with absolute conviction. This unwavering confidence transforms potentially embarrassing moments into comedic triumphs. Whether he is proudly showing off the family's new livestock or recounting his narrow escape from the law, Jethro tells his stories with such earnest pride that the audience cannot help but root for him, even as we laugh at his misunderstandings. The script uses Jethro's adventures to deepen the show's exploration of the generation gap within the Clampett family. As a young man suddenly given access to wealth and city opportunities, Jethro stands between the staunch traditionalism of Granny and the quiet wisdom of Uncle Jed. His enthusiasm for new experiences, bowling, fancy clothes, city girls, sometimes clashes with Granny's homesickness and desire to return to the hills. Yet his loyalty to the family remains absolute. When Granny talks about packing up and going home, Jethro's reactions reveal his underlying affection and desire to keep the family together even as he enjoys the adventures Beverly Hills offers. Jethro's physical presence adds another dimension to the comedy. As a tall, strong and energetic young man, he becomes the family's primary source of physical labor and comic physicality. His enthusiastic but sometimes clumsy movements, whether wrestling with livestock, climbing trees to help deliver Granny's mash, or being thrown around by Ellie Mae, provide consistent visual humor. The contrast between his imposing size and his boyish personality creates an inherently funny dynamic that the writers exploit beautifully throughout these episodes. Beyond individual gags, Jethro's city adventures serve a larger thematic purpose. Through his experiences, the show examines the challenges and opportunities facing young people thrust into new environments. Jethro's mistakes are never portrayed as stupidity but as the natural result of applying honest mountain logic to an artificial and often confusing modern world. His willingness to try new things while remaining fundamentally himself offers a positive model of adaptation. He may not fully understand the stock market, city rules, or sophisticated dating etiquette, but he approaches everything with good humor and an open heart. The possum hunting sequence in particular stands as a microcosm of the entire Clampett experience in Beverly Hills. Jethro's determination to provide traditional food for his incoming family members demonstrates both his loyalty and his inability to let go of mountain customs. His misadventures among the laziest, greasiest, unfriendliest mess of people highlight the cultural isolation the family sometimes feels. Yet even in failure, Jethro maintains his optimism and returns home to share his story with characteristic flair. These moments reinforce the show's message that staying true to one's roots provides strength even when navigating unfamiliar territory. Jed's relationship with Jethro adds emotional depth to these adventures. As a surrogate father figure, Jed offers gentle guidance while allowing Jethro room to make mistakes and learn from them. His patience with Jethro's misunderstandings and his pride in the young man's enthusiasm reflect the show's celebration of family bonds that transcend blood and circumstance. Granny's more skeptical, but ultimately loving interactions with Jethro provide additional warmth and humor to the family dynamic. As Jethro continues his various city adventures, from stock acquisitions to bowling dates to possum quests, we see the beginnings of his longer character arc. He will face many more challenges and opportunities throughout the series, but the foundation established here, enthusiasm tempered by loyalty, innocence, mixed with determination, serves him well. His willingness to embrace new experiences while maintaining his essential Jethro-ness makes him one of the most relatable and beloved characters in the Clampett clan. Jethro Bodine's city adventures represent some of the purest comedic joy in these early episodes. Through his misadventures with stock possums bowling and the general strangeness of Beverly Hills, the show delivers consistent laughter while celebrating the spirit of a young man doing his best to navigate an unfamiliar world. His boundless energy, sincere heart, and spectacular misunderstandings continue to endear him to audiences decades later. In Jethro, the Beverly Hillbillies created a character who reminds us that sometimes the most entertaining journey is the one taken with complete enthusiasm and very little idea of where one is actually going. Whether chasing possums through exclusive neighborhoods, proudly displaying newly acquired livestock on a tennis court, or attempting to master the mysterious art of bowling, Jethro approaches life with a joy and determination that lights up every scene he inhabits. His adventures form an essential thread in the rich tapestry of the Clampett family's Beverly Hills experience, bringing laughter, warmth, and an irresistible charm that continues to define the magic of this beloved series. The Beverly Hillbillies derives much of its enduring charm and thematic depth from the Clampett family's unwavering commitment to mountain values of generosity, hospitality, and neighborly kindness, even when those values are thrust into the alien environment of Beverly Hills. Part 10 of this review celebrates one of the script's most heartwarming and hilarious threads: the Clampetts' persistent, well-intentioned efforts to help their wealthy neighbors, particularly the troubled Drysdale household. In these sequences, the show masterfully contrasts the Clampetts' open-hearted, practical approach to community with the emotional distance, neurotic self-absorption, and social barriers that characterize much of Beverly Hills society. What emerges is not only riotous comedy but a gentle, profound affirmation of human connection that lies at the very heart of the series' appeal. At the core of this theme stands the Clampett family's instinctive response to perceived need. Upon learning of Mrs. Drysdale's supposed struggle with alcohol, Granny immediately springs into action. Rather than offering empty sympathy or maintaining polite distance, she begins gathering ingredients for her legendary sober-up mash and enlists the entire family in the mission of mercy. This is not mere comic setup, it is a deeply revealing expression of hillbilly values. In the mountains, when a neighbor is in trouble, you do not simply wish them well, you roll up your sleeves, prepare remedies, deliver fresh goat's milk, and do whatever is necessary to help. The Clampetts bring this same spirit to Beverly Hills, often with spectacularly funny results. The repeated attempts to deliver the mash and goat's milk to the Drysdale residents generate some of the episode's richest comedic set pieces. Granny and Ellie Mae's first visit is met by the haughty Ravenswood, who insists Mrs. Drysdale cannot be disturbed. Rather than retreating, Granny interprets the butler's presence as evidence of family solidarity and praises him for helping his kin. When direct access is denied, the family devises increasingly creative solutions. Jed considers climbing a tree to reach the window. Jethro is tasked with distracting the butler, and Ellie Mae leads a nanny goat upstairs, complete with a chicken riding on its back. These images, a goat in the bathtub, fresh milk being delivered through unconventional routes, are not only visually hilarious but thematically significant. They represent the Clampetts' refusal to let social barriers prevent them from helping someone they believe is suffering. What makes these efforts so endearing is the complete sincerity behind them. The Clampetts never seek recognition or reward for their help. They act out of genuine concern and a deeply ingrained sense of moral responsibility. Jed's quiet support, Granny's determined expertise, Ellie Mae's willing assistance, and Jethro's enthusiastic participation show a family united in their desire to be good neighbors. Even after multiple rejections and misunderstandings, they persist, believing that helping others is simply what decent people do. This steadfast generosity stands in sharp contrast to the self-absorbed world around them, where Mr. Drysdale worries primarily about social appearances and financial accounts, and Mrs. Drysdale dramatizes her own shattered nerves. The script uses these acts of hospitality to deliver some of its most insightful social satire. Beverly Hills, as portrayed here, is a place of beautiful mansions, luxurious cars, and carefully maintained social distance. Neighbors rarely visit one another. When the Clampetts later decide to go calling on their neighbors, inspired by the realization that in the city one must sometimes initiate contact, they encounter a world unaccustomed to such direct friendliness. The visit to Agnes and her family during what turns out to be a trick-or-treat scenario produces both laughter and poignancy. The Clampetts arrive with mountain-style expectations of hospitality, only to discover a household where children are kept inside until dark, and genuine neighborly warmth seems rare. Granny's heartfelt reaction to the homeliest young-uns she has ever seen combined with her determination to remain kind reveals both her traditional values and her fundamental decency. Jed Clampett emerges as the moral compass guiding these efforts. Despite his enormous wealth, he maintains the same humble neighborly spirit he possessed back in the hills. When Mr. Drysdale hangs speechless on the fence of the makeshift stock pen, Jed interprets the banker's distress as overwhelming joy and gratitude. This generous misreading of events is characteristic of the entire family. They consistently attribute the best possible motives to their neighbor's strange behavior, demonstrating a profound optimism and kindness that the show clearly admires. Jed's decision to accept Ravenswood and Marie into their home despite Granny's initial objections further illustrates this philosophy. He recognizes the human need behind Drysdale's request and responds with characteristic hospitality even when it means welcoming people who initially looked down on his family. Granny's role in these acts of generosity is particularly compelling. As the family's moral and medicinal authority, she channels her feisty energy into practical help. Her sober-up mash with its long list of traditional ingredients and the famous toad test may seem bizarre to outsiders, but within her worldview it represents centuries of accumulated wisdom offered freely to those in need. Even when Ravenswood rejects her offerings as unsterilized or inappropriate, Granny remains undeterred. Her threat to throw the butler in the cement pond if he continues his snobbery is delivered with such spirited conviction that it becomes both funny and strangely admirable. Through Granny, the show celebrates the strength and compassion found in traditional ways of life. The theme of hospitality extends beyond the Drysdales to the broader neighborhood. The Clampetts' decision to go calling on neighbors after realizing that no one has come to visit them reveals both their loneliness and their proactive spirit. Rather than withdrawing into resentment, they take initiative. Their visit to Agnes, complete with homemade gifts and invitations to hunt together or play football, represents a sincere attempt to build community in an environment that seems to discourage it. The contrast between the Clampetts' warm open approach and the more reserved suspicious responses they sometimes receive highlights the cultural divide, while gently suggesting that the Hillbillies' way of relating to others might be healthier and more fulfilling. These sequences also deepen our understanding of the younger generation. Ellie Mae's enthusiastic participation in delivering medicine and milk shows her growing maturity and compassion. Jethro's eagerness to help, whether by distracting the butler or herding livestock, reveals his desire to contribute meaningfully to the family's efforts. Even as both young people explore new city experiences, they remain grounded in the core Clampett value of helping others. This continuity of values across generations reinforces the show's optimistic message that mountain wisdom can thrive and even enrich sophisticated urban environments. Mr. Drysdale's complicated position adds another layer of humor and pathos. Caught between his financial dependence on the Clampetts and his wife's fragile nerves, he becomes increasingly frantic as the Hillbillies' well-meaning interventions multiply. His gurgling silence at the stock pen, his desperate flight into the bushes, and his eventual decision to send Ravenswood and Marie to the Clampetts all stem from the pressure created by the family's relentless hospitality. The irony is delicious. The Clampetts believe they are bringing joy and healing to their neighbors, while Drysdale sees only chaos and potential social disaster. This dramatic irony allows the audience to enjoy the comedy while appreciating the Clampetts' pure intentions. The script's treatment of hospitality never descends into sentimentality. The comedy remains sharp and the misunderstandings plentiful, yet the underlying warmth is unmistakable. When Granny declares that it gives a person a mighty good feeling to help a neighbor, she speaks for the entire family's philosophy. Their acts of kindness may not always achieve the intended results. Mrs. Drysdale ends up embracing her hallucinations with glee, but they succeed magnificently in revealing the Clampetts' essential goodness. In a world increasingly characterized by isolation and status anxiety, their straightforward approach to human connection feels refreshingly vital. As these storylines unfold, we witness the Clampett mansion gradually transforming from a symbol of alien luxury into a genuine home filled with life, laughter, and open doors. The arrival of Ravenswood and Marie, initially a source of tension, becomes another opportunity for the family to practice hospitality. Granny's campaign to feed and care for the poor starved girl and even the proud butler demonstrates that their generosity knows no bounds of class or background. This inclusiveness stands as one of the show's most admirable qualities. In the broader landscape of American comedy, the Clampetts' persistent efforts to help their wealthy neighbors represent something remarkably humane. At a time when many sitcoms focused on petty conflicts and selfish desires, the Beverly Hillbillies celebrated selflessness, community, and the joy of giving. Through their often chaotic but always well-meaning interventions, the Clampetts remind us that true wealth lies not in money or status, but in the relationships we build and the help we offer freely to others. The generosity and hospitality of the Clampett family form one of the strongest moral foundations of these early episodes. Whether delivering folk remedies through windows, welcoming reluctant servants into their home, or venturing out to call on neighbors, they consistently choose kindness over convenience and connection over isolation. Their efforts may create chaos, shotgun blasts, goats in bathtubs, and banker breakdowns, but they also inject vitality, warmth, and genuine humanity into the polished but often cold world of Beverly Hills. In doing so, they teach both their neighbors and the audience a timeless lesson. The best way to live in any neighborhood is to care deeply for those around you, offer help without expectation, and approach every interaction with an open heart and a generous spirit. This commitment to hospitality ensures that no matter how strange Beverly Hills becomes, the Clampett home remains a beacon of mountain warmth, a place where friends, neighbors, servants, and even reluctant butlers eventually discover the healing power of good food, honest conversation, and unconditional kindness. The arrival of Ravenswood, the butler, and Marie, the upstairs girl, into the Clampett mansion creates one of the richest, most sustained comedic laboratories in the entire composite script. This domestic arrangement transforms the grand Beverly Hills estate into a vibrant battleground of cultures, manners, and worldviews, where the rigid formality of professional service collides head-on with the warm, chaotic, egalitarian spirit of the Ozark Mountains. Through these interactions, the Beverly Hillbillies delivers some of its most insightful commentary on class pride, human dignity, and the healing power of simple kindness, all while maintaining an unstoppable flow of laughter and affection. Ravenswood represents the pinnacle of old-school butler tradition. With generations of service in his bloodline, he carries himself as a guardian of decorum, hierarchy, and proper social distance. Sent by Mr. Drysdale under the pretense of helping the Clampetts civilize their household, he enters the mansion like a missionary entering the wilderness, determined, professional, and quietly horrified by everything he encounters. His starched collar, impeccable posture, and formal language become both armor and comic liability in an environment where no one respects or even understands the boundaries he so carefully maintains. From the moment he steps through the door, the cultural collision is spectacular. Granny Clampett, never one to be impressed by titles or uniforms, greets him with her characteristic directness and foxy warmth. When Ravenswood stiffly declares his profession, Granny assumes he must be some kind of kin to the Drysdales, who has come to help during their time of trouble. Her genuine approval, praising a family that isn't ashamed to pitch in, completely undercuts his attempt to establish superiority. This pattern repeats throughout their relationship. Ravenswood tries to assert professional boundaries and class distinctions while Granny cheerfully ignores them, treating him as just another person who needs good food and straight talk. The kitchen becomes the primary arena for these delightful confrontations. Granny's domain is one of abundance, noise, and unpretentious generosity. She prepares massive meals of grits and hog jowls, salted possum belly, pickled crow gizzards, and other hearty mountain fare with the confidence of someone who has fed families through hard times for decades. To Ravenswood, these dishes represent culinary barbarism. His barely concealed horror at the sight and smell of such common food provides consistent visual and verbal comedy, yet Granny remains undeterred. She diagnoses both Ravenswood and Marie as suffering from poor nutrition and sets about fattening them up with maternal determination. Her philosophy is simple and profound. Man don't eat right, he gets that way, referring to crankiness, weakness, and general disagreeableness. Through food, she offers not just nourishment but acceptance and belonging. Marie's story provides a touching counterpoint to Ravenswood's proud resistance. Arriving weak-kneed, timid, and apparently half-starved, she represents the more vulnerable side of the servant class. The Clampetts, particularly Granny and Ellie Mae, immediately take her under their wing. Granny's campaign to restore her health through generous portions of mountain cooking becomes one of the most heartwarming threads in the script. We watch Marie slowly blossom, gaining physical strength, color in her cheeks, and quiet confidence as she experiences the kind of genuine care she likely never received in the Drysdale household. Her initial fear of Ravenswood and hesitant participation in family life gradually give way to warmth and gratitude, illustrating the transformative power of the Clampett approach to hospitality. The script excels at showing how the same environment affects different personalities. While Ravenswood clings desperately to his professional pride, often retreating into formal language and wounded dignity, Marie opens herself to the experience. The contrast highlights the show's gentle message about pride versus humility. Ravenswood's insistence on maintaining social distance ultimately isolates him, while Marie's willingness to receive kindness allows her to heal and grow. Through these two characters, the writers explore how class conditioning can either limit or be transcended by human connection. Jed Clampett's handling of the situation reveals his characteristic wisdom and leadership. Despite Granny's initial strong objections to boarding that foot for fella, Jed sees the bigger picture. He recognizes that Mr. Drysdale is asking for help in his own indirect way and responds with mountain hospitality. His patience with both servants, his quiet mediation during conflicts, and his insistence on treating them with respect demonstrate the moral center of the family. Jed understands that true wealth includes the ability to share one's home and extend kindness even to those who initially look down upon you. The physical and verbal comedy in these household scenes reaches impressive heights. Ravenswood's repeated shock at being invited to eat with the family, his horror at casual mountain language, and his startled reactions to Ellie Mae's enthusiastic physical greetings create a steady stream of laughs. Granny's colorful threats, including throwing him in the cement pond, are delivered with such spirited conviction that they become both intimidating and oddly affectionate. Even when tensions rise, the underlying warmth of the Clampett home prevents any real cruelty. The family may tease and challenge Ravenswood, but they never reject him. They simply refuse to let his snobbery diminish their way of life. One of the most insightful aspects of this storyline is how it reverses traditional class dynamics. In most comedies involving servants, the help are portrayed as clever manipulators, while the employers are fools. Here the employers are the unpretentious, fundamentally decent Clampetts, and the servant Ravenswood is the one struggling to adapt. This inversion allows the show to satirize class snobbery with particular effectiveness. Ravenswood's pride in his profession and his disdain for the Clampetts' informality gradually appear more ridiculous as we witness the family's genuine loyalty, generosity, and joy in living. The audience is invited to question which household truly understands civilized behavior. The theme of kitchen remedies extends beyond physical food to emotional nourishment. The Clampett home operates as a place of radical acceptance. No one is turned away, no one is expected to perform sophistication, and everyone is offered a place at the table. This philosophy challenges Ravenswood's entire worldview, built as it is on hierarchy and emotional distance. His discomfort is funny, but it also carries a deeper point about the limitations of rigid social structures when confronted with authentic human warmth. Granny Clampett reaches new heights as a comic and moral force in these scenes. Her feisty spirit, practical wisdom, and enormous heart make her the perfect counterweight to Ravenswood's stuffiness. Whether she is defending her cooking, looking out for Marie, or calling out the butler's pretensions, Granny remains completely gloriously herself. Irene Ryan's legendary performance brought this character to life, but even in transcript form, her voice rings with unmistakable authority and affection. She may be small in stature, but her presence dominates every scene she inhabits. As the servants settle into or struggle with life in the Clampett household, subtle changes begin to emerge. Marie clearly benefits from the experience. Ravenswood, though he would never admit it, finds his rigid worldview challenged in ways he never anticipated. The mansion itself transforms from a formal showplace into a lively lived-in home filled with the sounds of cooking, laughter, arguments, and reconciliation. This domestic evolution represents one of the script's most satisfying developments. In the broader context of the series, the integration of Ravenswood and Marie enriches the comedic universe by bringing elements of the Drysdale world directly into the Clampett orbit. It creates sustained opportunities for character interaction and cultural exchange that complement the earlier external chaos of livestock and neighborhood incidents. The household becomes a microcosm of the larger theme: what happens when two very different Americas are forced to coexist under one roof. The cultural collisions and kitchen remedies in the Clampett household showcase the Beverly Hillbillies at its warmest and wisest. Through laughter and gentle satire, the show suggests that genuine hospitality, good cooking, and honest human connection can bridge even the widest social divides. Ravenswood may never become a full-fledged hillbilly, and the Clampetts will never adopt formal butler etiquette, but in the space between their differences, Something beautiful and very funny emerges: a household that is messy, loud, occasionally chaotic, but fundamentally kind. This chapter in the Clampett saga reminds us why the series continues to resonate. In a world often divided by class status and manners, the Clampetts offer a simple but powerful alternative: open your door, share your table, speak your mind, and treat everyone, even arrogant butlers and timid maids, as worthy of dignity and a good hot meal. The laughter that results from these cultural collisions is not just entertaining, it is healing, hopeful, and deeply human. At its core, beyond the livestock chaos, shotgun misfires, goat deliveries, and butler confrontations, The Beverly Hillbillies is profoundly a show about family, about the unbreakable bonds of loyalty, the comfort of shared values, and the quiet strength that comes from staying true to one's roots, even when surrounded by unimaginable wealth. Part 12 of this review explores the emotional and philosophical heart of the composite script. The Clampett family's steadfast commitment to each other and to their simple mountain principles amid the glittering excess of Beverly Hills. In these quieter, more reflective moments woven between the broad comedic set pieces, the series reveals its deepest humanity and enduring charm. The script repeatedly returns to the theme of family unity, especially during moments when the pressures of their new life threaten to pull them apart. Granny Clampett's homesickness becomes one of the most poignant through lines in these early episodes. Despite living in a mansion with every material comfort, she longs for the tangible rhythms of mountain life, raising a garden, hunting possum, making moonshine, and feeling the honest dirt beneath her feet. Her repeated declarations that she wants to pack up and go home are delivered with such mulish conviction that they provide both humor and genuine pathos. Granny is not ungrateful for their fortune. She simply understands that money cannot replace the things that truly matter: familiar land, simple food, and a community where people know and care for one another. Jed Clampett's response to Granny's discontent stands as one of the most touching expressions of paternal and familial wisdom in the entire series. Rather than dismissing her feelings or asserting his authority as head of the household, Jed speaks from the heart. He acknowledges the difficulty of their new life, especially for someone of Granny's age and deep-rooted traditions. Yet he gently but firmly asks her to stay, not for his own sake but for Ellie Mae's. This moment reveals Jed's profound understanding of his family. He has watched his daughter blossom in Beverly Hills, transforming from a wild mountain girl into a young woman who can wear ball gowns and still play football with joy. Jed recognizes that this new environment, for all its strangeness, offers opportunities for growth that would have been impossible back in the hills. His plea to Granny is both loving and strategic. The family must stay together, even if it means navigating uncomfortable change. This emphasis on family loyalty runs throughout the script like a steady heartbeat beneath the laughter. When Granny threatens to leave, Jed makes it clear that if she goes, they all go. This unconditional commitment transcends material circumstances. Whether they live in a mountain cabin or a Beverly Hills mansion, the Clampetts are first and foremost a family unit. Their loyalty to one another is never in question, even during disagreements about city life, fancy clothes, or the presence of servants. In a world that often celebrates individualism and social climbing, the Clampetts represent something far more valuable: the strength that comes from putting family above personal comfort or societal expectations. The script beautifully contrasts material luxury with emotional richness. The Clampetts possess $25 million, yet they continue to live by the same values they held when they were poor. They still want to raise animals, grow vegetables, hunt for food, and help their neighbors. Their mansion, with its cement pond and formal rooms, gradually becomes a lived-in home rather than a showplace. They eat grits and hog jowls at the table, invite servants to join them as equals, and maintain the practical self-reliance that defined their mountain existence. This refusal to be changed by wealth is one of the show's most admirable qualities. The Clampetts understand that money is a tool, not a transformation. It can buy a bigger house, but it cannot buy character, love, or peace of mind. Ellie Mae's development serves as a powerful argument for staying in Beverly Hills. Jed's emotional description of watching his daughter walk out the door looking like a queen in her ball gown, contrasted with memories of the wild engine she once was, carries real fatherly tenderness. Yet even as she experiments with dresses and city ways, Ellie Mae remains recognizably herself: strong, joyful, and unafraid to wrestle or play football. Her growth does not require abandoning her roots. Instead, it represents a healthy expansion of possibilities. Through Ellie Mae, the script suggests that change can be positive when grounded in strong family values and personal authenticity. Jethro's adventures further illustrate this balance. While he enthusiastically embraces city experiences like bowling with Miss Hathaway and dreaming of new opportunities, his loyalty to the family never wavers. When Granny talks of returning home, Jethro's reactions reveal his underlying affection and desire to keep everyone together. His possum hunting expeditions, though comically unsuccessful, stem from a sincere wish to provide traditional comforts for his mother and sister. Like the rest of the family, Jethro navigates the tension between embracing the new and preserving the old with good humor and earnest effort. Granny's character provides the emotional anchor for these themes. Her feisty homesickness is never portrayed as mere stubbornness but as a deep attachment to a way of life that valued hard work, self-sufficiency, and community. Even as she complains about the laziest, greasiest, unfriendliest mess of people in Beverly Hills, her actions consistently demonstrate compassion and moral clarity. Her determination to help Mrs. Drysdale, her care for Marie, and her unwavering commitment to family traditions show that beneath her sharp tongue lies an enormous heart. Granny represents the soul of the Hillbillies, tough, opinionated, and profoundly loyal. The script also touches on the loneliness that can accompany great wealth. The Clampetts, despite their millions, initially struggled to find genuine connection in Beverly Hills. No neighbors come calling. Social interactions often feel artificial or distant. This isolation makes their commitment to traditional hospitality even more significant. When they decide to go visiting neighbors themselves, they bring mountain warmth into an environment that seems starved for it. Their willingness to initiate friendship even when met with confusion reveals their fundamental optimism and belief in human connection. Jed's quiet wisdom shines brightest in these reflective moments. He understands that their sudden fortune is both a blessing and a test. The real challenge is not managing money, but maintaining their values and keeping the family united. His willingness to listen to Granny, encourage Ellie Mae, guide Jethro, and extend hospitality to Ravenswood and Marie demonstrates thoughtful leadership rooted in love rather than control. Jed never loses sight of what truly matters: family, honesty, hard work, and helping others. Throughout these episodes, the show gently suggests that simple values, loyalty, generosity, authenticity, and love of family are more precious than any amount of material wealth. The Clampetts may live in luxury, but they remain hillbillies at heart, and that identity is portrayed not as something to be ashamed of but as something to celebrate. Their refusal to be corrupted or fundamentally changed by money offers a refreshing and timeless message, especially resonant in an era and a medium often obsessed with status and consumption. The heart of the Hillbillies beats strongest in the small everyday moments: shared meals around the table, family discussions about staying or returning home, Granny's kitchen wisdom, Jed's steady guidance, and the younger generation's joyful navigation of new experiences. These elements give the comedy its emotional grounding and prevent it from becoming mere slapstick. The laughter is funnier because we care deeply about these characters and their relationships. In the end, the Clampetts teach us that home is not a physical place but a feeling created by the people we love and the values we share. Whether in a mountain cabin or a Beverly Hills mansion, their family remains intact because they prioritize loyalty over convenience, love over sophistication, and authenticity over appearances. This simple but profound truth lies at the very heart of the Beverly Hillbillies and explains why audiences continue to embrace the show decades after it first aired. The luxury surrounding them may be new, but the values that define them are as old and enduring as the hills themselves. In celebrating family loyalty and simple decency amid wealth and confusion, these early episodes offer not just entertainment but a gentle reminder of what truly makes life rich. The composite script drawn from the early season 1 episodes of the Beverly Hillbillies represents far more than a collection of hilarious misunderstandings involving livestock on tennis courts, shotgun blasts at fox furs, and butlers clashing with mountain matriarchs. It stands as a near-perfect encapsulation of why this groundbreaking situational comedy became a cultural phenomenon in the 1960s and continues to delight audiences more than 6 decades later. In these foundational stories, creator Paul Henning and his team crafted something deceptively simple yet profoundly resonant: a warm-hearted celebration of authenticity, family, loyalty, and the enduring power of laughter born from cultural collision. The Beverly Hillbillies remains timeless comedy gold because it speaks to universal human experiences while maintaining an optimistic, affectionate view of American diversity that feels as refreshing today as it did in its original era. At the heart of the show's enduring appeal lies its remarkable ensemble of characters, each drawn with clarity, affection, and comic precision. Jed Clampett, portrayed with quiet dignity by Buddy Ebsen, serves as the moral and emotional anchor. His steady wisdom, unpretentious leadership, and deep love for his family provide the show with a soul that elevates it beyond mere slapstick. Granny Clampett, brought to vivid life by Irene Ryan, remains one of television's greatest comic creations, a tiny woman with volcanic personality, fierce loyalty, and an unshakable commitment to mountain traditions. Ellie Mae and Jethro complete the family portrait with youthful energy, innocence, and boundless enthusiasm. Even supporting figures like the perpetually anxious Mr. Drysdale, the haughty Ravenswood, and the well-meaning Miss Jane Hathaway feel fully realized rather than cartoonish. The script's strength lies in how it allows these characters to behave consistently according to their established worldviews, creating comedy that emerges organically from personality rather than contrived situations. The cultural contrast between the Ozark Hillbillies and Beverly Hills society forms the show's richest comedic and thematic vein. Rather than mocking rural Americans, the Beverly Hillbillies consistently invites us to see the world through the Clampetts' clear-eyed, honest perspective. Their literal interpretation of stock Granny's determined campaign with the sober-up mash the transformation of a tennis court into a barnyard, and their relentless attempts at neighborly help all serve to highlight the absurdities, pretensions, and emotional emptiness that can hide behind wealth and sophistication. The humor never feels mean-spirited because the Clampetts themselves are portrayed with such genuine affection and respect. We laugh at the chaos they create, but we admire their integrity, generosity, and refusal to be corrupted by sudden fortune. What makes these early episodes particularly special is their perfect balance of broad physical comedy and gentle social observation. The visual gags, goats in bathtubs, ball gowns on football fields, pigs rooting on clay courts, remain hilariously effective even in transcript form. Yet, beneath the slapstick lies thoughtful commentary on class identity, adaptation, and the true meaning of wealth. The show suggests that real richness comes not from money but from family bonds, honest work, neighborly kindness, and staying true to one's values. This message, delivered with warmth rather than preachiness, accounts for much of the series' lasting resonance in an increasingly materialistic and divided world. The Beverly Hillbillies arrived at a perfect cultural moment in the early 1960s during a time of rapid social change, economic prosperity, and increasing urbanization. For millions of Americans who had themselves migrated from rural areas to cities in search of opportunity, the Clampetts' adventures provided both laughter and reassurance. The show validated the experiences of people navigating unfamiliar environments while holding onto their roots. Its massive popularity across different regions and social classes demonstrated television's power to unite audiences through shared laughter and universal themes. Even today, in an era of fragmented media and polarized discourse, the show's gentle, inclusive humor offers a refreshing alternative to more cynical forms of comedy. Modern audiences continue to discover and embrace the Beverly Hillbillies for several compelling reasons. First, its characters feel remarkably human and relatable. Despite the broad comedy, the Clampetts experience genuine emotions, homesickness, parental pride, the awkwardness of personal growth, and the challenges of maintaining family unity amid change. Second, the show's optimistic worldview feels like a balm in troubled times. It suggests that kindness, authenticity, and good humor can bridge even the widest cultural divides. Third, its comedy style has aged remarkably well because it is rooted in character and situation rather than topical references or mean-spirited mockery. The misunderstandings, physical gags, and verbal wit remain fresh and funny because they emerge naturally from consistent personalities. The script's treatment of class and cultural differences is particularly noteworthy. Rather than reinforcing stereotypes, the Beverly Hillbillies gently subverts them. The Hillbillies consistently emerge as the more civilized party through their generosity, loyalty, and lack of pretension. Meanwhile, the supposedly sophisticated Beverly Hills residents often appear neurotic, status obsessed, and emotionally disconnected. This inversion, handled with warmth and humor, delivers social commentary without alienating viewers. The show never claims that rural life is superior in every way, but it does celebrate the value of traditional wisdom, self-reliance, and community in a modern world that sometimes forgets these virtues. Another key element of the show's timelessness is its celebration of family. In an age when many television programs focus on dysfunctional relationships or individual ambition, The Beverly Hillbillies presents a family that genuinely loves and supports one another despite disagreements. Jed's commitment to keeping the family together, Granny's fierce loyalty, Ellie Mae's joyful spirit and Jethro's enthusiastic devotion create a portrait of familial love that feels authentic and aspirational. Their willingness to adapt without losing their essential identity offers a hopeful model for navigating change while preserving what matters most. The technical craftsmanship behind these episodes also deserves recognition. The writing is exceptionally tight, with each misunderstanding building logically upon the last. The dialogue sparkles with authentic mountain dialect and clever wordplay. The physical comedy is choreographed with precision, and the ensemble performances, even in transcript form, convey distinct personalities with remarkable clarity. These early episodes established a comedic formula that would sustain the series for 9 seasons while maintaining consistent quality and heart. Looking back from our current perspective, The Beverly Hillbillies also offers valuable perspective on American identity. It reminds us that the United States has always been a nation of diverse cultures and backgrounds, and that strength often comes from the creative friction between different ways of life. The Clampetts' presence in Beverly Hills enriches rather than diminishes their sophisticated neighbors. Just as their mountain values bring vitality to the polished but sometimes sterile world of wealth, this message of mutual benefit through cultural exchange feels particularly relevant in contemporary discussions about diversity and unity. The show's humor also possesses a rare quality: it is inclusive. Audiences of all backgrounds can laugh at the Clampetts' adventures without feeling targeted or superior. The comedy invites us to laugh with the characters rather than at them, fostering empathy and affection. In an era of increasingly divisive entertainment, this generous spirit stands out as both rare and valuable. As we conclude this comprehensive review of the provided script, it becomes clear that these early episodes represent the Beverly Hillbillies at its absolute finest. They establish the central premise with brilliant clarity, introduce unforgettable characters, create iconic comedic sequences, and lay the foundation for the show's deeper themes. The laughter is abundant, but so too is the warmth, wisdom, and humanity that elevate the series far beyond typical sitcom fare. The Clampetts taught us that one can strike it rich without losing one's soul, that true sophistication lies in kindness rather than manners, and that the best response to an unfamiliar world is often a combination of open-hearted curiosity and steadfast integrity. Their adventures in Beverly Hills continue to resonate because they reflect something essential about the human experience: the challenge and joy of staying true to ourselves while engaging with a larger, often bewildering world. In the final analysis, The Beverly Hillbillies endures as timeless comedy gold, not despite its apparent simplicity but because of it. In celebrating the Clampett family's journey with affection, humor, and respect, the show offers something increasingly precious in modern entertainment: unapologetic warmth, moral clarity, and the pure pleasure of laughter shared across cultural boundaries. Long after the livestock have left the tennis court, the fox fur has been blown to shreds, and the butler has recovered from his various shocks, the heart of these hillbillies continues to beat strongly, reminding us that some truths like good comedy never go out of style. The Beverly Hillbillies did not merely entertain America, it gently reminded us of our better angels. That is why more than half a century later we still welcome the Clampetts into our homes with open arms and open hearts. Their story remains in every sense comedy, gold, pure shining, and wonderfully timeless.